cities with bright lights.
Short days and long nights.
Days and long nights.
No stress and no strife.
Yeah.
I'm high, I'm living the life. Big cities and bright lights. Short days and long nights. No stress and no strife. I'm high, I'm living the life. Big cities and bright lights. Short days and long nights.
Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul.
Soul cleansing. Soul
Everybody got problems. Everybody got problems. No matter which yours.
Soul cleansing. Soul
That's why we gotta
cleansing.
call them. That's why we gotta call them. My spirit's so asshole.
Soul cleansing. Soul.
Nearly lost my soul, nearly lost my faith. When I lost my brother, that's the day it went away. Mama cried, so did granny did too. So lost, so hurt, I ain't know what to do. So I yell, and I cuss up at God. Like why in the fuck, how could you do that? Bring that pain in my family, it's something we did. Tell me you mad at me, cause I can't deal. And it's hard to live without my brother, and it's hard to forgive, but still I pray.
Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul.
I ain't know what your life like, but I'm just trying to get my soul right. Been struggling my whole life, in the dark with no sunlight. Tired of making up excuses, Going crazy about to lose it. In the midst of all the bullshit. Let the music be your pulpit.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
Let me take them off for you, baby. Let me take them off for you, baby. I swear to God, I try to that's crazy. Swear to God, I try to that's crazy. Let me take them off for you, baby. Let me take them off for you, baby. I swear to God, I try to that's crazy. Swear to God, I try to that's crazy. It's crazy.
About the way you looking in that dress. Beauty so flawless, baby, it's no finesse. Can't even lie, girl, I must confess. Turning me on is what you do the best, yeah. I never know what you gon' do next. Your body is banging, baby, you're so blessed. No stress, no flex. I'm just ready to watch you undress, yeah.
I can't wait to get you home tonight, girl, and tear that shit up. Didn't you over facing up real low? What it feel like? I can't wait to sauce you up so A1 and tear that shit up, girl. I tear that shit up. I tear that shit up. Can't wait to tear that shit up. Her panties out. I can't wait to take her panties out. Her panties out. She can't wait to take her panties out. Her panties out. I can't wait to take her panties out. Her panties out. I can't wait to take her.
Back to the crib.
And you know,
I'm on my shit, candles get lit.
and that's when,
I like the weed, she take a hit.
and then she,
Licking her lips, grabbing my dick.
I put this,
Dick in her ribs, dick on her lips. She get on top, swerving them
and
hips.
that shit,
She swallow kids, all of the
and
kids.
no shit.
Freaky as fuck, nasty as shit.
I never knew this could exist. Won't tell a soul, I plead the fifth. There's no control, taking the risk. Never say no, that's how it is. I never knew this could exist. Won't tell a soul, I plead the fifth. There's no control, taking the risk. Never say no, that's how we live.
I can't wait to get you home tonight, girl, and tear that shit up. Didn't you over facing up real low? What it feel like? I can't wait to sauce you up so.
Yo. What's happening, y'all? It is Tuesday, the Tuesday after that historic Tuesday. And it is time for Classic Conversations with JT and Lo. So, hey, man, I'm glad y'all joining us. Hey, man, we're talking a celebration tonight, man. We're talking with smiles because of the victory that we had. And what we're going to talk about tonight is now that we've had that victory, we have to do better than what we did the last time, and we got to make sure that these people are held accountable. So I got my man here, my man Sugar Sean. He's a guest with us tonight. We got 2 other guests are supposed to be showing up, so you know how we do. If they show up, they get on. If they don't, they won't. Hey, Sugar Sean, man, go ahead and let them know who you are, what's happening, and all that good stuff.
Hey, what's going on, man? Sugar Sean Riley, comedian, Brooklyn Shorter there, man. We
I'm ready. I'm blessed and ready to rock out with you guys, man. Let's get it going. We got a lot to talk about. A lot. Yes, sir.
That's what I mean. Yo, y'all need to go to urbanatlanta.com. Tune in right there. You can see all the good stuff behind us and everything. If that's what you're looking at, if you're looking at our lives, you just see this green screen. Understand that if you go and subscribe to urbanatlanta.com, you will be able to view these shows anytime that you want to. Because sometimes you have to prove a point to certain people. So sometimes you have to take them back to the show so people can hear what you said and what everybody said. Angelo,
What it do, man?
what's happening, man? Come on, bro. Vote. That's what you kept telling them.
What I kept saying, man. First represent my boy JG, man. No Love T-shirt brand. Nice little comfortable T-shirts, man. Got the stuff on the website. No Love. Good job, JG. Keep doing your thing, man. We always gonna support black business.
Yeah, that's what 2020 has been about, man. It's crazy that it took a pandemic for us to start supporting black business, man. But we got to keep it going. This is what I'm talking about. What happens now? We good for, like with songs or with fads, bro. We'll rock it real hard for a minute and then we stop. But this is not something that we can stop, man. We have to keep this going. And why? Oh, wait a minute. Something. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tripping on my live because it's not doing something right. It's got me in the corner when I shouldn't be.
So why you doing that, man? So let me just ask you guys' opinion. What was your biggest take from the election? Because I'm gonna give you mine. What was your biggest take from the election?
Well, with me, man, what I saw was that we actually got out, and I think we learned a lesson from the last one because what I noticed was, when they started counting those early votes and those mail-in votes, that's when we started, coming up, because before there was so many things that was happening to us going to the polls on the day of the election day. And I think we learned from that, and a lot of people went ahead, they did the early voting, they did the mail-in voting, and I think that's where it came in. So that's one thing we can say. I do feel that we learned a lesson this time. I'm just praying that the other lesson that we learned is that it doesn't stop there, that we have to keep going. What about you, Sean?
What I really learned and what I really was excited about was because some of the conversations that you have, a lot of people push a narrative that the black vote don't really count. You hear that a lot, like we 3/5 of a person, all this other nonsense. But now when you realize and you see that the election came down to our cities, it came down to Atlanta, it came down to Philadelphia, where it's predominantly urban cities. So that showed the people that your vote does count, and it's very important. But what I found real interesting is once our vote started to count, all of a sudden there's a problem with the vote, right? There's a problem in those cities. So are we going back to the same Jim Crow kind of laws? It's the same Jim Crow nonsense that's really been going on, but they just can't come out and say that. I just feel like...
Interesting.
Yeah, I just feel like, us as a people, yes, we voted in, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Are we looking at them as they are savior? Nah, I don't look at them like that. But I feel like we got a lot that we got to do within ourselves now because the conversation is open for open discussion and they willing to hear it. So come on, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of people voted really to get 45 out. Well, I call him by his name now. I wouldn't call him by his name where he held the seat. Let me change that because he's still holding the seat for the time being. So, yeah, right. A lot of people voted to get 45 out. So I think what has to happen is the people that actually voted, did an educated vote, need to now pull along the people that voted to get 45 out. Because what's going to happen is the same thing that happened in the past, is that we either got somebody in or we got somebody out, and then that's it. They stop at that point. And I think that we have to hold people accountable. Everybody here in Georgia, man, we still got some stuff to do. It is not done. I mean, January 5th, and I know how my people are, boy. They're going to party hard on New Year's Eve. They're going to look at those college football games those next couple of days, and they're going to forget. Well, we're going to do what we can to make sure that nobody forgets that we still, and we got to get this Senate seat, so we still have to get out there. You got to get out there, man. January 5th. Remember that date. We're going to talk about it every week, just like Angelo has been talking about local votes every week up until the big election day. We're going to keep talking about January 5th.
And now we see why.
Yeah.
Now we see why.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I hope y'all heard that. We're gonna post all that stuff as well. All the breakdown dates, what have you. So so my biggest take, man, you know, and both of you all's takes were just as good as any, because we did learn a lot, I believe. We did see a different presence. But I was just blown away by the actual factual racial divide of the votes. I mean, that really just blew me away when you just actually saw the full-blown racial divide of the votes and somewhat economic divide and how upside down, you know, and I say that based on even the white people who educated white people voted for Biden more than Trump, while poor white people with non-degrees and what have you voted for Trump. You know what I mean? Well, the educated people voted for Biden. I still say that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was just really something to really see when you see the actual stats on it, man. It blew me away. You know, I called you about it when I was looking at them stats. I was like, man, do you realize the actual racial divide that we just witnessed?
Hey, man, we talked about, people are voting. They were basically just voting. How do I put it? They were basically voting for this guy just because he was that guy. They were not voting for him because he was going to help them. But they would rather vote for him just because he was white and he wasn't for us.
But do you think they believed that he was going to help them? Or it's just the racial tone?
It's 100% the racial tone. I think America has shown that, this country is fully divided when it comes to race. And the people that, were outside, even when you heard 3 words, Black Lives Matter, I don't get into the whole movement or what you believe or what behind that, but those 3 words sparked so much tension that it was a problem. Like I feel like this election came down not to like Republican or Democrat. It came down to, at the end of the day, racism. If you for the systematic racist, you're gonna continue, you're gonna vote for him. Like when you look at Donald Trump, he's epitomized what this country was created on, being a gangster. The Al Capones, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, we idolize all this stuff. We idolize black drug dealer gangsters, Chinese gangsters, and we were sitting down watching a live reality show of gangsters. And the country was able to vote out a rich white dude who what this country was devised on. Because that's what they say that this country was for them. And I think that was monumental.
Yeah, I was just, it just blew me away, man, just to see the stats, you know what I mean, the actual numbers on it. And just, and it's disappointing to see the number of black people who did vote for Trump. And I've said his name too, because I wouldn't say it either. And you have to just wonder, what it is they could see about this guy, when you look at economically, and we said last week, from an economic standpoint, everything they said was false. You know what I mean? The jobs false, the stock market false. The stock market was worse than it's been, in many years under him. So it's just like, what is it that you all, what are these? I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? It was just mind-boggling. And to see they still, are fighting for him. I talked to one just yesterday, black guy, who was still,
it ain't over yet. You know, he's gonna go to the lawyers and the judge, and I'm just looking at him. I'm like, man, are you serious?
Yeah.
Hey,
They are, man.
He's a black guy.
they don't want to give it up. We talked about this. Well, we talked like 2 weeks ago, right? We talked about it we talked about Blue winning, and then what's going to happen. This guy is going to do everything he can within his power. We're going to find out new laws. We're going to find out new laws, new bylaws to where he can hold that seat. He's going to do everything he can to keep from walking out of that White House, man. I told my wife the other day, I said, it's going to be Valentine's Day. And this dude is probably then going to leave the White House, which is cool. It's Black History Month, so that'll be pretty dope. But he's not going to leave just taking the L.
I think that's going to be hard pressed. You know, January 20th, I think, is the day that, you know, you're supposed to take over. And number one, you know, it's obvious he's not going to concede the election. It's obvious that he's never going to say he lost. He tweeted today talking about we will win this thing. You know what I mean? just you know, and
I've never seen nothing like it.
They said he hadn't left the White House at all since the elections, except to go golfing. You know, so, and then the transition team, I don't know if y'all saw it today, the transition team, they denied the transition team to even speak with them, you know what I mean? And this is coming from the GSA lady, you know, and then Barr, you know, his do boy is you know, allowing the Department of Justice to investigate, you know, the voter fraud.
Yeah, you know, here's something interesting that I found out earlier. What I found out, you know, I don't know, I've been doing a little bit more research, but they're saying that if he does not concede and this continues to go in and it goes into the Senate and the courts, the states would have to vote again. But the states in itself, meaning the senators, the governors of those states.
That's not true.
You know, Jones was on what's his name? Jones, the lawyer, was on there saying that if that happens. But if that was to happen, then that means that, you know, we be going into some type of crazy civil war or something. Because that was I found that to be rather interesting. I hope it's not true, but
I like that, Jesse.
Speaking of the whole, you just said the Civil War thing, man. Angelo had hit me up and he was like, "Yo, bro," he said, "Do you recognize how divided this country is?" I mean, we knew it was divided. I mean, you know, we know there's white people, there's black people, or there's white people and there's other people. Actually, let me change that. It's black people, then there's other people. Because we're in a state of our own. Then it's other people. But when you look at the diagram of the states, of the United States, and the colors of the states, blue and red, it is amazing how divided this country is. And then on top of that, I can't remember who it was I heard say it, but it was like, with all the buffoonery that this dude has done in the office, how is this election even this close?
Because the country...
Think about that.
The country's racist. I mean, they got 76 million people. There's got a lot of self-hate. I mean, Angelo said he was just on the phone with a brother. I was on the phone last night till 3 a.m. with a brother that was telling me I should go put my mega hat on, a black dude, saying that we should... I told him, look, man, I can't vote for white supremacy. He said, no, white supremacists deserve a voice, and Donald Trump's all about liberty and everybody being able to get out there and say what they want to say. And I'm like, so if that was the case, then why do you have a problem with people saying Black Lives Matter? I said, he's not about that. But there's a lot of black people that really believe, like, in keeping this the way that it was. They're not ready for the change that's about to come, that I believe is about to happen. There's going to be a major shift. I don't think it's going to stay the same. And that's what I think a lot of people are voting for and fighting for, is for it to stay the same. But the country is showing you that it's time for this to stop. That's my opinion.
And the division is okay. You just pulled. Look at that. Look at that right
Oh yeah,
there.
he got all that. Look at all the red.
Look at that.
And that's the whole middle of the country.
And Georgia turning blue.
Well, they got Georgia light blue.
South and Midwest. Yeah, because it's still pending. Georgia,
I think Stacey
Georgia, North Carolina still haven't officially closed their race yet.
Damn.
But the South and the Midwest has been predominantly red and continues to be, but some of them are just by overwhelming numbers. And when I was saying this last week about Mississippi and Alabama, it's like, wow, man, when, y'all not gonna come up this thing yet?
When are y'all going to?
I mean, what's it gonna take?
That one I'm really confused about, those states. I don't know if it's that we're just not voting in those states. You think that's what it is? That maybe states like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, do you feel that they're just not voting? Or
they got Republican governors. Those are all Trump boys.
Say she ain't never got nothing neat.
Having a Republican governor does not make people have to vote Republican. So I'm trying to figure out, is it that people are not voting in those states? Or
I think they're voting. The reason I said that having a Republican governor, they holding everything up. Like the same way while we're going through what we're going through here in Georgia, clearly Biden won, but we have this guy Kemp. That's one of Trump good old boys. They Proud Boys. So they're gonna do everything and anything they can to try to hold this whole entire situation up. But I look at it, man, there's so much, man. With this, it's interesting.
You gotta get
you need a microphone.
Yeah, there's
one right
that,
over there.
I saw a video the other day when you say why it's still going on, right? So it was this white lady confronted this black lady because she had a polls open like they're supposed to, and they were going all whoop de whoop, and the white lady got in the black lady's face, and eventually black lady two-pieced her. So you know what I mean? But the white lady all in the face, finger in the face, and all that. So she gave her plenty of time to, and there was a brother who came over and didn't care what happened, but he went and picked up the white lady and just, ma'am, just catered to her. And the black lady like, this woman just assaulted me and da-da-da-da. Well, I'm just here to make sure that nobody hurt her, you know what I mean? And I was like,
disturbing.
That's why they can't dog and win the election. Yeah. Too many of you running around there, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's still someone still got this mentality.
Yeah. This is how I look at it, and this is kind of crazy. And like you said, I always was one against the Electoral College and the voting process as far as the president. But voting local, I was really strong on that. But even now, I see that, now that, like I said, I used to hate that at 2 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, 8 years ago, they could tell you who the president was. And it was like, we had a conversation about it the other night. I think the last time we talked about voting, where they could tell you who the president is based on, your projections and things of that such nature. And I will always be like, what about the people who, absentee ballots and things like that, and and they would do it on exit polls and these these projections. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now, like you said, it's coming down to the actual number. So you're seeing a big emphasis on the CNNs, the MSNBCs, and the Fox Newses for the actual number that the people were up. And I heard them make a good statement, like all the numbers that Joe Biden is up now, Trump was up in 2016. So in Pennsylvania, in Nevada, in Georgia, and in North Carolina, Trump was up by the exact same numbers that Hillary was up. And these news stations called the election. Now, he said this week that a news station can't tell you who won the election. You know what I'm saying? And just 4 years ago, when it was on, the shoe was on the other foot, the numbers were the same. These people called the election for you, and Hillary conceded. It was good then, and then 4 years from now, everything's the complete opposite. Numbers are complete opposite, but exactly similar. Like, I mean, they're literally like 0.2%, like 0.02% off of his numbers from 2016, where Biden won this year in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia.
Right.
And he don't want to concede and he don't want to believe it, and he's doing all this for dead people voting, all these little things that we, like you said, we hold, what I'm saying, we take advantage of, or we say our vote don't count. But right now these people are trying to take these ballots and these votes, and when your signature and your address, man, listen, if it wasn't that serious, they wouldn't care if your signature and your address match what was on your driver's license or what was, what was in your record. Now all the little nuances matter for voting, so it has to be important. It has to be important.
Yeah.
It couldn't be that simple if they didn't count. And I seen that this time. I seen that when they started throwing out the ballots for the signature, and I was just like, it's something about that. It's like, to me, that's the most pettiest thing you could. I don't care who cast the vote. Somebody went in there and actually went through the process. If I went through the process, regardless of my signatures match or my address is correct, my vote should count. It shouldn't matter. Now it actually matters, and people are paying attention to that. They're filing lawsuits against it, all kinds of things.
And the whole signatures match thing really threw me because
It's a joke.
I mean, people grow. Their handwriting change,
My signature's never the same.
Hey man, I remember a while ago.
I had a bank had to call me about my employees all the time. Like, that's me. You know what I mean? Because I can't ever think. I'll be like, zoop. You know what I mean? Depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing.
Yeah, a while ago, I used to capitalize my T in my last name. Now I don't. It's a lowercase T in cursive. Because I don't know, maybe I got tired. I don't know what the reason is. I got lazy, didn't want to put the line on top of the line. I put it in the middle. I don't know. But that should not be the reason that your vote is not counted. I feel for the people that has a little apostrophe or something in their name. Mm-hmm. Boy, they in trouble.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is, when Al Gore lost in Florida,
I was just about to say that.
The exact same stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was all good.
Yep.
It was all good. Because they straight robbed that man in Florida. You know what I mean? Straight robbed him. But it was all good because their guy got in.
Right. And the thing about Al Gore and Bush, though, the election was way close. That came down to like about 1,000 votes.
Super close.
Super close. So I could get that. This dude is losing the popular vote. He's losing the regular vote, the electoral college. He's losing everything. There's nothing to contest. He's just a pretty much a big baby, and he's running around like wham, 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 because at the end of the day, everyone needs a trophy. And he's not willing to just leave, and that's it. The dude done lost his mind.
Yeah, he definitely
And he was the representative of America, of us. That's ridiculous.
That should have been enough for the regular Joe that does not follow politics. That guy that gets up, goes to work, takes his lunch pail with him. On the way home, he stops by the bar, has a couple of beers, a shot, plays pool, comes home, eats dinner, kisses the wife, hey to the kids and everything, gets up the next day and does it again. It's not a politician, doesn't know, none of his friends are, nothing like that. The stuff that this guy has done in office, the way he's acted in office, should be enough for you to vote against him. But as Angelo said, it's basically, I don't even want to say it's a race thing, like you said. It's not a class thing.
No, it's race, man.
It's not a class thing. But how do you vote for somebody that's just
overtly racist?
Or overtly an asshole. You can go with that part.
Yeah, we can take that.
Even if you don't believe he's racist, he's an asshole. He is
arrogant.
Rude.
Yeah.
He's arrogant. He feels everything is about him. So now Juneteenth is about him.
He's a
really?
He's a narcissist.
I wanted to use that word.
He's a classic example of a narcissist.
I think so.
I was going to use that word, but that average Joe cat here, I probably don't use that word in his life. Asshole, he uses. He uses asshole.
Yeah.
So how do you vote for this guy if you've seen anything he's done on television? Anything. I mean, just look at a picture of the guy. Seriously, bro, just look at a picture. I watched one of his speeches and I didn't listen to it. And bro, you'd have thought I was at Uptown. I was laughing so hard just looking at him. Everything, his eyes with the cucumber patches from the tanning booth, and the toupee, and the bottom lip always coming out, the top lip not moving. Dude, what?
Very divisive, Chuck.
I'm Donald Trump.
20 words in his vocabulary.
Yeah, it's just that it like, again, I just look at it like, man, the beauty of this entire thing was you really were able to see people's true colors. You're able to see what people really about, and you can't hide behind being racist anymore. Like, I cut a lot of people off my Facebook, Instagram, people that I was actually close to. I had friends like on Wall Street and all this other stuff, and I'm like, that's over now, because this is how you really think. And I'm not gonna be your token, I got a black friend. Nah, you don't got a friend. It's over. We ain't hanging out no more, because this is not about, don't try to hide behind I'm a Republican, Democrat. Nah. When you see this type of stuff, you're supposed to say, hey man, I'm not with that. And if you voted for that, that means that you're 100% behind the division of the country, and you're 100% behind black people being held down. Because I'm a firm believer, we all play sports here. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And if in our communities, we poor and it's going down, we should be trying to help our community. And if you got a problem with that, then you got to get out of here. That's how I see it.
But I do commend there still were a lot of people of other races besides black who did see through this BS. You know what I mean? And it showed, because even though a lot of Republicans may have still won or retained Senate seats and other seats, they still didn't vote for him. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people still saw through, and I'm happy to see that part. I mean, this was literally the biggest election in history.
Yeah.
In history.
Yeah.
So I mean, that means, like we were discussing last week, did this last 4 years wake people up? The answer is yes.
Yeah. That's
it
a fact.
did, because you have more people voted ever.
Yeah. People listen.
They got out there because they saw it, but on both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My wife said it. She said the other night, she was like, wow, he had more votes than than Obama. I said, that's because more people actually came out and voted. This was a record-breaking election. We actually, like I said, once Obama got in, honestly, we relaxed. For his second term, it was a struggle. It was a fight to get him in there, because a lot of us thought we were good because we voted that first time. Then with Hillary, I think, again, it was a relaxed state of mind. Nobody felt that. Basically, they felt nobody could vote for this guy. Who would vote for the guy that, what was the name of his TV show?
The Apprentice.
Who would vote for this guy? That's basically what I think, what a lot of people thought. Ain't nobody gonna vote for that guy.
But remember, the narrative was it was gonna be a blowout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people said, well, Anthony, me going to vote, he gonna lose anyway. You know what I mean? Because the narrative was, even to the point where she had that big glass ceiling thing up at her. You know what I mean? She just knew she was gonna win. That junk literally, hey, they just knew it.
Yeah,
because everybody, every poster, all that stuff said Hillary gonna win by a landslide.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people was like, no point. You know what I'm saying? But this time they were like, hey man, fool me once.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, though, to be 100% honest with you, Donald Trump really lost once the protests, the riots started happening, and all that other stuff started happening, and the way he handled this COVID situation, he lost a lot of people. That whole COVID, the way he handled the whole coronavirus and made it a joke and was laughing about it, and that helped divide the country. Half of us is taking it serious.
That helped the white vote.
Yes.
That helped the white vote.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because that turned them.
And I think the pandemic actually helped the black vote too, because it had people in tune to it a little more.
Woke us up.
I mean, if the pandemic wasn't happening, we're doing what we usually do, trying to make ends meet, not really paying attention.
Chilling.
I feel that, 2020 has been hell. I ain't gonna say I ain't never been to hell, so I don't know if it's been hell. So I don't want to put that out. I don't know about calling here, getting on my case or getting on us because we said.
Well, I'm gonna say it's hell. 'Cause I looked a lot.
That was the stat I was looking for. But Nita, mom just said it to me. 58% of white men, 55% of white women, 18% of black men, 8% of black women, 38% of Latino women, and 28% of, I'm sure, like 30% of Latino men, I'm sure she meant, and 20% of Latino women voted for Donald Trump. That's a serious statistic.
Go, wait. Do that again.
58% of white men.
Okay.
Wow.
55% of white women.
Wow.
18% of black men.
That's crazy.
8% of black women. 38% of Latino men. 28% of Latino women.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
You said 38% of Latino men?
Yes.
I don't.
Remember, he won Miami. I mean, he won Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the Texas.
Yo,
I mean, these are Latino strongholds.
Yeah.
what do y'all feel like would make a?
This the one with putting the wall up.
What's making a black man want to vote for Trump?
700 families that were displaced.
Yeah.
They can't find the mother or father to the children.
I don't.
I was really shocked at the Latinos that they
Right.
voted heavy for him.
Yeah.
That really surprised me. I ain't gonna lie.
What would make us vote for Trump as a black? I don't understand that. It's mind-boggling. I can't even answer that question. That's why I'm asking. I wish one of you guys could tell me.
It's
can't.
mind-boggling.
No,
I don't
we can't.
understand what make a black man
If there's anybody out there
vote for Trump.
in our live world or
Call if you're
on the
Trump supporter and
podcast,
you black.
please call 404-500-1605.
I know one right
No-
now.
no
No judgment. You won't
judgment.
get on camera. You won't
No.
talk about it in public.
No judgment. You can be somebody else if you want to.
You won't get on camera.
Look, you can be somebody else if you want to. Just call us with your reason.
That crazy number, John?
I seriously
Crazy.
would love to, because I haven't spoken. Wait a minute. I do know somebody that's a big time Trump guy. I said his name. Damn it.
Yeah, but I
That's
talked to
2 times a night. I done said this dude's name twice.
Now I talked to my boy on the phone. He's black, and he was really going in about the reason why you should vote for Trump. And I
didn't
didn't
believe it.
And I didn't understand. I'm like, everything you're saying is not facts. It's like he's telling me these things like they're facts, and I'm Googling, look, no, you're wrong. He got into stuff, and he bringing up Obama, and said what Obama did. I'm like, yo, look, man, he said Trump did more for historical black colleges than any other president. Obama didn't do the same. I said, are you kidding me? Obama gave over $4 billion to HBCUs.
Well, what Trump did was he did give more money to HBCUs. I had to go look that up myself, but he only did it to outdo what Obama did. Obama had the most
billion.
He gave $200,000 more than Obama.
So he gave over $4 billion to black colleges?
I'm telling you, he
Wow.
gave the exact amount with 200 some odd thousand more than Obama. But he only did it to make sure he could say I did the most.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's easy to do that though. It's easy to have somebody do something. You just go up there and say, okay, it's like Price is Right. You know?
Shift down a little bit.
Yeah, there's a microphone right here in the chair.
You got one.
Oh, you got one? Okay.
This was last week.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like Price is Right.
Yeah,
That's
move
all
on.
he did.
Yeah.
He did the Price is Right deal. So
Can I say something on that?
go for it. Go for it.
With that,
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Price.
It's my daughter's fault. I'm late. I'm gonna blame
He
her.
said it like you supposed to sing a song after that.
Right,
He's supposed to start.
Hey, I will. I can hold a note.
Like you about to win something.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. I can hold a note in the bucket.
Yeah.
But with that HBCU thing, I had to educate somebody because Donald put out President still Trump put out an executive order that stated that all this diversity training y'all be trying to do, if you're receiving government funds, you can't do diversity training no more. I downloaded the. Yay! I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Diggity
yeah.
down. No worries. Watch this. Yeah! I downloaded the executive order today where I had to show someone that Donald Trump said, yeah, I'm going to give the HBCU this money, but all this saying that we bad people and that Americans of African descent were mistreated, y'all can't teach that no more. So what's the
crazy.
HBCU gonna do? Are we gonna not tell the truth or take his little bit, a couple dollars?
I mean, that's what it's all about, not telling the truth. I mean,
That's right, and you're right, Nita. And I forgot that platform. You know that she said the reason that so many Latinos and some of the black folks voted for this guy was because of the '94 bill. Is really what it boils down to. You know what I mean?
The 93 crime bill?
The '94 crime bill that everybody's saying, because I had so many arguments about this. Oh man, she put all the people in prison. She did, I mean? I'm like, Dad, she put them in prison. They didn't break the law. She just put them in there. You know what I mean? But the '94, that crime bill turned a lot of people against Harris and Biden. You know what I mean? Because he's the one who signed it, and she was, the AG.
But are those black people in federal prison institutions or are they in state institutions?
But think about our people. We got to think. Read. I heard somebody literally make an argument about it the other day at a restaurant. You know what I mean? And I was listening, and I just wanted to chime in so bad, but I didn't. I was like,
trying to just have dinner in
But that
peace.
information was so bad.
That was a federal statute.
It was so bad.
People like, are we the only ones that are criminals? Like, unfortunately, like, if you got something set up that's going to hinder you, you should stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do the things and, make the proper adjustments to adapt to what's going on here.
Well, they call folks
You need a mic. You need a
predators,
microphone.
But let's be honest. I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
some of them folk not predators.
I mean, everybody.
I'm scared of some of them folk.
I mean,
I'm a lot of them.
they got criminals all across the board. I mean,
like, shit.
yeah, white, black, Chinese, Asian, Jewish criminals, all about criminals.
These folk were killing folk like they doing now, like it's going out of style.
But what
Like T.I. with this T.I.
yeah, get the mic. You need the mic, man.
Yeah, we gotta get a mic over there.
But what I did,
He on it.
right? But what I did hear too about Kamala Harris, a lot of things they're not talking about is what she instated in California. She has like I don't want to say the words wrong. It was like a bring back law or whatever the case. When you come back into society, what she did was she said when you come back into society, you go through this program. Once you go back through this reinstatement program, your record is going to be expunged. Right? If you're a first time felon or whatever the case may be, a first time offender and you went to jail, she was expunging their records and allowing them to get back into society, so that's no longer on their record. So a lot of people not talking about that, and I was reading that today, so she did do a lot of other things. Now you got to remember too, in the 80s and the 90s, the NCAA had something to do with that, with passing those bills too, because crack was running rampant through our communities and nobody knew what to do. So when these laws came out and when they came out like, yo, what do we do now? How do we stop crack? How do we stop this? They started doing what they made these laws. So we can't just sit there and look at them and be like, oh, he was just like this. He was like, look at the time and the era where things were happening. Look what was going on in the community. We all lived in the communities in the 80s. We knew what was happening in the 80s and early 90s. I mean, if you lived in one of those impoverished communities, which I came up in, you smelled crack. You knew what crack was. You seen crack rock. You knew who was selling crack. You knew what it was. It was destroying our community, and they didn't know what to do. So it's like I'm not giving them a pass, but also we were getting destroyed.
I give you an example. This show that people are popularizing now, Snowfall. People watch this show. They like it. They like the concept. They like everything about it. It's a great show.
Great show.
You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it is it shows you how they introduce crack into the ghettos.
Showing the real.
That's right.
So with that being said, it also had a character on there. There was a cop, a black cop, and he had a real positive and crazy spin on why he became an officer when you found out to it.
Right.
And it was like you felt for him and you understood everything that he was talking about, but you still love Franklin. You still love his uncle. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we love that, and we popularize that crime.
We always like the
and,
bad
you know what I'm
guy.
saying? And the bad guy.
Pino Brown, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
That's what America's about.
You know what I'm
Remember,
saying? So
I said that earlier, right?
Yeah, come on.
Al Capone's, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, all these dudes were drug dealers at a time. They was bootlegging liquor. That's what this country idolized.
Yeah, that's why those shows are number one.
Of course.
Those
New Jack City.
Those gangster shows.
Gangster shows, Scarface.
The documentaries that they have. That's what those shows are number
of course.
one.
Let me introduce this question. How do you guys feel about the T.I. conversation about what happened regarding what's been going on recently? There was a young rap artist that was killed, and he's from Chicago, and he was killed down here. And T.I. made a statement more like, Atlanta's a beautiful city, don't, bring your beef from where you're from to Atlanta, and ultimately it play out in society. And he was saying that, ultimately don't bring your beef from where you're from to Atlanta because we're a beautiful city.
I don't understand.
I don't have enough information on it.
Yeah,
I know I heard something about it, but
let me know some more.
I didn't hear the conversation, but just listening to what you're saying, I mean, if somebody moves to Atlanta, they're not. I promise you, they're not packing up their beef and bringing it with them.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
But the BP following them.
Yeah, it follows them, but at the same time, if you're in trouble in another state, you can't tell somebody don't move to Atlanta because somebody's mad at you.
When you get to Atlanta, you start saying,
yeah. So this is what he said. This is exactly what he said. He said Atlanta is a beautiful and progressive city filled with black excellence. We uplift each other and we win together. Stop coming here to kill each other. That shit's played out. The management. And his that was what T.I.
So he's thinking that Atlanta is like the battleground. Like you come out here when you have beef. I feel like once you're part of a certain life,
don't bring it.
Don't bring it here, right? But once you're part of a certain lifestyle and you part of that environment, you're doing certain things. Certain things are gonna come with you no matter where you go. Correct. So at the end of the day, that I get what he's trying to say. And I respect it because he's like, yo, we don't need to be doing this and wilding. But it was a kid from Atlanta that killed the dude from Chicago.
Savannah.
Right.
So regardless of the fact, he's from Georgia.
But see, and I'm a big T.I. fan. I love listening to that brother talk. I love just all the time, man. Clifford. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his, man. But
his name Clifford.
Clifford Harris.
Junior,
right?
Yeah. Shout out to Clifford Harris, man.
No doubt.
Hi, Clifford. What's up? Guy. Peace and blessings.
If he's in a movie, he's in a TV show, I'm going to watch it.
Right.
But that statement, I mean, what do you say to the ones that live in Atlanta, from Atlanta, that has beef with somebody else in Atlanta?
Yeah.
And I get what he's saying. Don't come down here because we're trying to be peaceful because we're not peaceful yet. We're trying to be. I do believe that. But there's a lot that go on in ATL. A lot.
Every day.
Every day.
You know
what I'm saying? And I get what he's doing. I get what he's saying.
They buried a 12-year-old kid today, got shot.
Football. There's a lot going on. And I get what, like you said, I get what he's saying. I respect it. But the think that somebody is actually coming here to bring a beef, that's a little extreme. We got a caller, huh?
I think it was a little insensitive that he said that, to be honest with you, to the family of the person that got killed, to be honest, because that's going on and that's running rampant in all our communities. Like we have to get back in our communities and teach people that you can have a disagreement without having to kill each other. I'm sorry, you got a call coming in.
I know that's right.
Caller, go ahead. State your name, where you from. Let me hear you. Talk to us.
Shaka Cox, Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, boy, you almost made me waste some good liquor. What's happening, Shaka?
I gotta get some ice.
What's going on, JT?
How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm doing fine.
Hey, man. Okay, now, this is a classic conversation. Seriously, I mean, you already said your name and everything. You didn't have to, but there's no judgment here. But I knew you would say your name because you stand by it. Panel, this is my man Shaka. Known Shaka for, Shaka, about 15 years, something like that?
Damn.
Probably about 12.
Yeah, 12, 15 years. After you get after 10, it is what it is. But Shaka is a 45 supporter, correct?
Yes.
Did you vote for him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so now this is a black man.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
And we was all wanting to know.
Yeah, I want to understand a lot.
So, and for real, bro, this is no judgment about the bash or nothing like that. We're not going to argue, but we just want to know the reason,
Yeah.
your reason as a black man to vote for him to be the guy in charge again.
I'm gonna smoke this cigarette so I don't do what you said that we gonna do. So we not gonna do it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do it.
I'm gonna just shut up and smoke.
Go ahead.
Can I have some of your liquor cup?
Well, I got several reasons.
Go ahead.
Mainly, I'm a policy person, and I understand that policy is what affects people the most. And most of President Trump's policies are positive for the black community, such as HBC funding, which was the most that was ever been funded in the HBCUs, and it was set in stone for the next 10 years. Also, opportunity zones that he opened up in the black community. He partnered with some of the corporations to create those opportunity zones. And one of the most important things that I supported Trump was dealing with the First Step Act, dealing with prison reform. Nobody seemed to have the political willpower to get prison reform done. And he came in and crossed the aisles and got prison reform done that retracted some of the crime bill that happened in the 80s and 90s that affected parts of the black community. And I was glad that that got done because I know a lot of people that got affected by that first-time offenders. And one of the other things that I supported Trump with is the tax cuts, the ones that were done for the first time in 33 years. What it did was it helped jumpstart the economy. The economy had come from a dark place, dealing with the housing debacle. So the economy was moving forward over the last few years. But when they finally did the tax break, it made the country more competitive with the rest of the world with their tax rates. So businesses begin to move, people begin to hire. And when that happens to America, it affects black people as well because, we're part of the country too. So our job unemployment went down. And those things, I think they affect people. What I've seen in dealing with some black people in the community is they're not really concerned about those things. They're more concerned about image and how somebody makes them feel. But me, growing up in the black community, been here all my life, I see those type of policies. They affect us in a positive way, and they create a certain type of independence that we can build upon. So those are my reasons.
Okay, we're gonna because as you were saying it, everybody was making faces and all that type stuff. So
I could imagine.
Yeah. No, everybody was. So let's start at number one. Go with your number one reason, and then we're gonna have folks up here talk to you about it and go from there. So go with number one again. Say it again.
We need facts.
The First Step Act. That's part of the Prison Reform Act. Bipartisan.
When was this policy enacted?
It was enacted actually last year.
Okay. No. Yeah, I was just wondering.
So Dwayne, what you're saying is since it was enacted last year, you're saying that he had.
It was put on his plate when the violence in the country started. Based off of the violence in the country started, celebrities, preachers, all those people came to him. They brought it to him and made him push it. It wasn't something that was on his policy when he ran, and it wasn't something that he did when he got in office. It was something he did as a reaction, not as something he wanted to do. That
happened this year.
Okay, so
it was signed into law this year.
So Shaka, is that, since you're a supporter and you may have a little bit more research on him, is that something that he walked into office saying that is something that he was going to do while he was in office? Or is that something, like as Dwayne said, that was a reaction?
Yes, he met with Dr. Claude Anderson in October of 2016. And Dr. Claude Anderson is one of the gentlemen and scholars that helped write a lot of laws that benefited black people in the 70s. So he talked to Dr. Claude Anderson about prison reform. And Dr. Claude Anderson talked to him about prison reform. as you know, President Trump was probably not knowledgeable of some of the troubles that we go through in the black community.
Say it ain't so.
And he told him about the prison reform and how it had not gotten done, and nobody had the political will to get it done. Everybody talked about it.
So the same guy who
And
put
that's
those guys
how
in
he
jail,
got the idea.
Central Park 5, he didn't know about that.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Are you aware of the prison reform that President Obama put in place? And are you aware that he released more federal?
Actually, he didn't do prison. Obama didn't do prison reform. If he did, I would definitely give him credit for it because I don't care who does it. I want it done. He did a lot of communing sentences, but they didn't get any legislation done through the Congress. Well, Trump, he got it done through the Congress.
They didn't get it done. They didn't get it passed, you mean?
No, they did not get it done. They did not even try.
What?
Okay.
They didn't even put it in the docket. It wasn't even part of the what they was trying to push in doing his term in office.
Okay. Okay. So that's arguments on both sides. Listen, people, if you are out there and you have something to say to this, little debate we have going on, please call in 404
Well, I got a few notes that's already come through here.
1605. Do you want to go on to his number 2, or do you want to stay on number 1?
Well, I think we should actually address the brother. I think that one of the problems I see in our community as black people is we need facts. And I think that a lot of the stuff that they're running around with, and the rhetoric and the narrative that we're running with, especially when it comes to Trump, you have to look at the guy that you're trying to really vote for. When you're speaking about his feelings for black people and the laws and prison reform, this is the same man that was a big advocate for putting 5 innocent men in jail for the Central Park 5. And he was all over television talking about it. This is the same man that called people like George Floyd and these dudes animals. Like, this is, you got to really look at what this dude was saying and what he was really about.
I was just gonna say.
So how do you overlook that though? Just what he just said. Just those.
Well, he's not telling the truth. Well, I don't overlook it. I'm telling he's not telling the truth.
No, that's a fact. I can Google it.
Central Park 5 was done. I don't want to get into it, but that's what the district attorney findings were, and Donald Trump back the district attorney. That was his opinion. And I'm not sure where he called George Floyd an animal. I don't know.
He called all the rioters and people out there animals. Get these animals off the street.
I'm not sure about that. I kind of want to stay on policy. I kind of want to stay on policy because you kind of come in more of opinion.
So let me say this.
I've never heard that. If you can show me when it happened,
I can Google it and send it to you, sir.
Going to the woods with that,
So I grew up in.
I'm telling you why I support them.
So I grew up in New York City, and I grew up and I was around at the Central Park. I'm 42 years old, and Donald Trump was one of the major advocates for putting them young people in jail. He was all over television every day and every newspaper stating that those young brothers, those animals need to go to jail. And that is a fact. And they should get a death penalty. And you can actually Google that. You can look that up. And you can say to yourself, this man is 70-some years old right now.
But what I'm saying, Donald Trump did not do the investigation. That was the district attorney of New York. And a young woman had been raped and all the blood was out of her body. I don't know if he was looking at color or anything, but you're getting off of policy. We're talking about Donald Trump as president.
So within your...
You're right. Now, you came with the policy thing, but what they're asking is, you gave the reason, and we're going to go through your reasons, but what they're asking right now is, even with those policies that supposedly happened in your eye that you saw or you researched, the things that he done as a person, and again, Central Park 5 was before he got into office, but y'all understand he did a lot before he got into office. And so what they're asking is, how do you look past that part and just go with this policy thing that he put out that was basically 3 years after 3 years or 4 years after he had the conversation with the guy. He had the conversation with him in 2016.
What he said was the guy had the conversation with him. So
in 2016,
okay,
Yeah.
and then he passed the law in
Right.
2019.
Well, it was a bipartisan
okay.
bill. It went through the legislature.
So let me say this.
Okay.
You also said in your answer that Obama couldn't do what? You said he couldn't pass it because of what?
No, they didn't even think about it.
No. That's not what you said. You just said that they couldn't get it through Congress, right? That's
No,
what you said.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I said that it wasn't Obama administration priority.
No. But that. So let me say this. How can you say that? You're saying,
But not just Obama. It wasn't a George Bush priority.
So let me say this. Angelo spoke about civil rights policies that Obama tried to pass and get enacted when he was president. You said that he could not get them through Congress, correct? Because that's what happens when you.
No, we're
hold
talking
on, so
about
let me say
prison
this.
reform.
You're putting a policy out there, it has to go through the House of Representatives and it has to go through the Senate, correct?
Yes, a bill.
So with that being said, Obama could have placed these bills out there,
Which he did.
and that's all I was gonna say. And they may have not passed through the House and the Senate because they were not bipartisan. They didn't come together bipartisanly. So the difference is you're saying that, like you said, with Trump they came together bipartisanly. So Trump didn't pass it; they passed it together. And when Obama tried to pass these laws, they didn't do it together, and it was shut down. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that you said that. That's what you said, because that's what happened.
Well, no,
that's
because
what you said.
if Obama didn't have to do it bipartisan, because his first 2 years he had the House and he had a supermajority in the Senate.
AC8. I'm sorry.
So he didn't even. It wasn't even a priority of what they was trying to do in their first years of his administration.
Okay, go ahead, Will.
Okay, so the first part of his administration, there's a set of priorities. So you can't tackle everything in the first 2 years. He had 8 years to try to do it. So like I know, that the affordable health care took a lot. It was a major piece of legislation. There were other things that Obama did get through in the first 2 years. Correctional, what it is that you're talking about, that was not on a priority. That was on the next 4 years, of which, again, Mitch McConnell and the Congress blocked everything. Senate blocked everything.
Well, they didn't block
Let me finish.
There was never a bill presented to him.
Let me finish. So now you mentioned that, and then you also mentioned the tax bill. We're paying for that tax cut that you're talking about was not.
Yeah.
That was just like the other legislation that he did. Those are bones. And that's part of negotiating.
So you want me to explain
let me say this. Wait a minute. The tax cut didn't do me any benefit at all. I don't know. Some people it may have done some benefit, but you got to pay. You're paying for that now.
84% of Americans they saved on the taxes.
They got about $1,500, sir. They got about $1,500.
They got about $2,200, but it's
okay.
More of a
Let's go with $2,200.
Yeah.
How significant is that
To a regular person, not a corporation.
Well,
Okay.
it's something that you didn't have, but the corporate tax cut is where it really was effective at.
now?
blacks
You
own
just mentioned corporate tax cut.
Do blacks?
Wait a minute.
Blacks own?
Whoa,
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me finish. Let me follow through.
Everybody can't talk at the same time.
Just let
Go
me
ahead,
follow
Will.
through
Go
with
ahead,
the
Will.
continuation. You just said corporate. Now, that is a very significant word when you're talking to the masses here, right? Corporations are running. I mean, that's okay. They already have a tax break, right? The average person pays more taxes than corporations.
Yeah, he paid $750.
Okay, I'm just saying, when you start talking about apples to apples, I'm a part of the masses. I'm not a part of I do own my own corporation, but to be fair.
Did you take advantage of it? Because I did.
We all, right, of course. But again, we have to live here together. Now, to benefit. So that's why you took it because that benefited you. But would it benefit the majority or the masses? So that
yes,
tax
it actually
break
did. It benefited the majority because it helped corporations begin to invest in their businesses and also hire more.
That didn't happen, sir. If you look at
well, actually, it did because the unemployment rate. I'll let you talk. Go ahead and finish.
It did not happen.
You said it didn't happen. Now, can I rebuttal?
Okay.
Can I rebuttal?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the evidence is that the joblessness dropped to the lowest it's been in 60 years.
That's not true.
The job
market.
Unemployment rate dropped to the lowest it's been in 60 years.
And that came as a result of, just like I know. Let's really talk about, we haven't even really, we're just starting to get the impact of Reagan's, not Reagan, but really? Trump's decisions right now. Okay?
Phone blowing up.
Trump had the benefit of riding the legislation that was from the previous administration in the first 2 years that he comes in. That is factual. That is documented. Every president inherits what was done to them. So we got a heavy load coming because we haven't even seen
what Trump did.
What Trump has done. It's just those things that you're talking about that he passed are just going to go into effect pretty much starting this year and forward. That's historical.
They're going to blame Biden.
So we cannot give him the credit that you're giving him is based off of the previous administration's decisions. Hello? Do you agree with that?
Shaka?
I don't think he liked it.
He hung up, so we got somebody else.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Shaka, you still there?
Nah, he must have hung up.
All right, somebody just called in, right?
I just put that out today. All the accomplishment of the previous administration.
James?
James. Yeah, hey. James. What up, bro?
Hey, what's going on? That's Brother James. Hopefully, guys, you know, very successful entrepreneur in New York City. You know, he owns a lot of business, a lot of companies. Yo, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man.
Brother James, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. So, you got something to put in on this? Actually, you know what? First off, you know, my man said you're a pretty successful entrepreneur. Go ahead and give us a little bit of something about yourself.
I'm a Morehouse grad, so I'm familiar with Atlanta. Own a few businesses here in New York. Contracting, office cleaning, a couple other businesses.
Okay, so we were just talking. So wait, let me ask this first. Who did you vote for?
I didn't vote.
Ooh,
blasphemy!
Is there a reason for that?
The reason for that is because I think it's just basically the same. The different heads of the same snake. You know what I mean? So
no, we don't.
Okay, and you know what? You know what though? I've heard that argument a lot, man. I promise you. So I get where you're coming from. I've heard that a lot. I was one of those people years ago that said, you know, it don't matter who's in the White House. I still got to go to work and pay my bills. So I get that understanding. But
no, I don't take that approach at every election, but this election it was more evident than ever. I mean, with these two characters, because Biden, I mean, you guys are being kind of light on Biden, but if you look at his track record, he's been in politics 40 years, and you got, as black people, we dancing in the street for, you know, a white guy who 47 years has done nothing for black people. And to me, he's a little bit more dangerous than Trump because Trump just talks rhetoric. He's running his mouth. He might have some things that are negative to us.
Let me just jump in real quick. When you make a statement that says he's been in politics for 47 years and done nothing, that sounds like you listen to the commercials. Do you have anything to back that up of what you just said, or are you just going basically on what you've heard?
Well, I don't need to back it up. I would need you guys to show me something that he's done for black people.
Well.
So you're saying you're basing what your previous statement based off of just what he done for black people, not what he's done in general.
Yeah, he said for black.
I mean, this country, I'm black first, brother. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, all of us are. I'm not a politician.
You can tell me
no.
some
Let me say
things
this.
that he's done.
I think that all senators have a job, right? And they run on platforms, right? We've all said this. I couldn't tell you Joe Biden's direct platform, but I think in 47 years, in order to keep on getting elected to that seat, he would have to be doing things that's on that platform in order for him to keep on getting elected. Because if he didn't hold on, let me say that, because I don't know. I'm not from Delaware, where Joe Biden's from, but I'll just say this: in order for a senator to continue to get elected, because obviously we see that senators aren't getting reelected. Is this not a true statement? They don't. So when he was running and when came up for reelection, he always got elected. So obviously he was doing something right. I don't. That's what I say. I'm not going to argue against you.
But let's go to a
Let me address that. Let me address that.
Go ahead.
What that state holds no water, has no validity, because to get somebody to keep getting reelected don't mean you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Basically, black people recently getting involved in politics. So for his whole 47 years, we've just been, and we're still doing it to this day, going to the polls, voting blindly. We're not voting for our interests. We're not asking for anything. And we just checking on Democrat. My mom was a Democrat. My grandmother was a Democrat. So I'm a Democrat. But we're not digging in, rolling up our sleeves and digging into the politics to see who's going to do something for us, asking for things, demanding things. We're not doing that. So it was easy. It was easy for him to get reelected.
So let me ask you.
We're not getting involved.
Let me ask you this question, and because you're saying we, so you must include yourself. Number one, but number two, do you know how many people was on the ballot?
Do I know how many people was on the presidential ballot?
Yeah, on the ballot. Do you know how many people was on the actual ballot?
Besides
I
Trump,
mean, it might have been three or four, but at the end of the day, only two mattered. But go ahead.
No. You're missing my point. My point is the ballot was a long list of people for a lot of different positions, and it wasn't just for the presidential election. So the fact that you didn't vote means you didn't vote. That means you didn't vote for it. That means you didn't vote for anyone. That means not your senator, not your House, not your doggone judges, not your babysitter, your doggone your city council. It means you didn't vote for anything. You know what I mean? And that's the blindness of our people is, well, I'm not voting. He's 47 years, he didn't do nothing. But what about the rest of the people on the ballot? There's a lot. It's bigger than the presidential election. You know what I mean? And that's where we keep being blind at as people. Is we just worried about in reality, that presidential election is going to do very little for the common man on a day-to-day basis. But your senator, your House, your reps, these are the things that make differences. Your judges, these are the things that make differences where you live. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes difference where you live.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Say what you gotta say.
Go ahead. Say what you gotta say, James.
I also didn't vote because us as black people, we're not doing the right thing, right? You could vote for, this is not we keep voting for popularity contests, right? And that's our problem. Us as black people, we need to come together and say, this is what we want. We want this, and this. And if we don't get this, Joe Biden, we not voting. If you need us to get in here, and we not voting, dude. So what you want to do? You want to give us this? You want to promise this?
So
we didn't do that, right? And we didn't do that for his whole time. We didn't do that for any of the elected.
What he just said, I don't think he's wrong on that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We didn't vote for. We didn't do that for any of the elected officials. But now that these people are in office, we're going to say, we got the right people in office, we got who we want in office, but we got to hold them accountable.
You can't say we, though. You can't say we. You can only identify yourself and anybody that you know who didn't do it. You can't say we as a people.
When you talk,
there are many black people who are involved on a daily basis.
I'm only addressing black people.
I get what he's saying, but
we didn't ask for anything, right? So now we have to say, oh, you got to hold us. We're gonna hold these people accountable. Hold them accountable to what? We didn't ask for anything. So how are we gonna get anything?
So have you voted before? Have you ever voted?
Yes. This is the only election I didn't vote.
So you voted for your local politics, your Senate, your judges, and things of that nature.
Every year of my life, I voted. First year, I didn't.
So when you voted those times, what made you vote then? And I'm not talking about the presidential side of it. Did you? Well, let me ask you. Did you vote when Obama was on the ticket?
Yeah.
He said he voted every year. He just didn't vote this
I
year.
voted for Obama.
You voted for Obama. Now, because I'm just going on what you're saying about this. You know, we didn't ask for nothing. Whereas there's something in particular that year that made you vote. Were we asking for something that year that you knew that was different than this year?
In the last 4 years, I've educated myself more on what we're doing wrong, what we need to do. Right? So in those years that I voted in the past, I was the same person as I'm talking about who just checked Democrat because I'm black. I'm supposed to vote Democrat. You know what I mean? So I was a part of that party, you know, for my first
can I ask a question?
20 plus years of voting.
Go ahead.
So I agree with everything you're saying about asking for and requesting and documenting. I'm on board with you 100%.
Hold them accountable.
Now, here's the deal. You can't start out there. This thing, we didn't just get here overnight. So you got to look at the lay of the land, and you got to play chess. Okay, you got to look at this. So first step, we got to get the existing administration isn't working. So, like you said, on the ballot, you have legislation, you have other people, you have your local, you have all of these different things that has to change. So first, let me ask you one question. There's the National Black Caucus. They've been around for years. Then there's the NAACP. Okay? So before you can say, I want to know, do you know what they're asking for? They have missions, they have charters, and they have things that they are, the National Black Caucus, that's what their job is. So when you say they're not doing anything, and what are we asking for, can you tell me what they're asking for or what they're not asking for that makes you make that statement to say that this is not going on and you just happen to maybe not know about it? But are you familiar with the National Black Caucus that sits in Congress?
The National Black Caucus, the NAACP, has been around as long as I've been around.
Do you know what they're doing? Do you know if they did they try?
Ask me a question, brother. Are you gonna let me answer the question?
Let them answer. Y'all
Okay.
jumping on people.
Okay, go ahead.
Let them do it. Go ahead, James.
The National Black Caucus and NAACP has been around as long as I've been around. This year, I don't know exactly what they're asking for, but their track record shows that they ain't asking for the right thing or pushing hard enough, because if that was the case, we won't be in the situation we're in, or we'd have more than what we have now.
How do you know that? How do you know what obstacles?
Do we have reparations? Do we have protection over on our black men getting killed? Do we have any of these things?
Can I answer that? How many Senate seats do we hold? How many House of Representative seats do we hold?
We just started voting 50 years ago.
So this is what I'm saying. Like he said, it's a process. It's something that's not happening overnight. But you see now that we are more engaged in the process, and now that as a culture and a race that we are more engaged in the process is starting to change for us, because we now have representation in these places that we didn't have representation within the last 8 to 10 years, and that's all he's saying is
that's like, a great point.
We're saying that we agree with you, but the reason why we couldn't get these things and we couldn't ask for these things and these laws couldn't pass is because we didn't have representation. Point blank. Period. In order to get these things and these policies passed and ask for things, we have to have people in place to do that. If the people that are in place aren't there to do that, then they can't ask for them. If you don't vote for your mayors, if you don't vote for your senators, if you don't vote for your House of Representatives, if you don't vote for your county surveyors, if you don't vote for the tax laws that's on the ballot. And what I was going to say is you can't let one race determine whether or not you vote for the whole ballot. What Lo was saying, it's a whole ballot. You can't let you can't let the fact that you're mad at Trump and Biden to not vote at all, because like he said, it's more people on the ballot. If you go into the voting booth and you pick bipartisan, it will show you everybody that you can vote for. It won't separate it into Republicans and Democrats. It will give you everybody who is allowed and paid their money to run on the ballot. It's only it's actual cost. So that's all I'm saying. So if that's the case, you cannot allow.
But brother, if you're well aware of it, then how did you make the decision to not vote? But the only thing you discussed was you didn't like the two presidential candidates. So I decided I'm not going to vote at all. That's the only part I'm trying to, because that just falls into the rhetoric that they're trying to get you to fall into. You know what I mean? They prefer you not to vote. That's what they want. So it's like, how do you make that decision to, I'm going to skip all the other important positions, and I'm just not going to vote at all. And that's the rhetoric that so many of our people are falling under. And then we can't say, well, we're not getting nothing, because too many of people who think that same way keep doing the same thing.
While they putting people
Why they putting people in place against?
You're not listening to the point I'm making. You're not listening to the point I'm making. I could go into the voting booth, right, and check Democrat. Even though things at the lower level of position, if we didn't ask these people for anything, they're not going to do anything. So we did not ask our senator, we didn't ask our congressman, we didn't ask local people for anything. So we're not going to get anything.
I'll just say this.
No matter who's in there.
Let me say this. Let me say this. I'll say this. I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right. My House of Representative member, who is my direct member, somebody I can go out and go to his office in Stone Mountain, Georgia, is Hank Johnson. For the last 8 years, anytime Hank Johnson sends me an email out to volunteer, I do that. Anytime he's having a meeting on any platform, I tune in. I have emailed him. I've talked to him in person. I've shook his hand. So my thing is, like I said, if you want to be involved and you want to make a change, you want processes to be different from what they have been in the past, you have to take the initiative. You cannot put it on anybody else, and you can't say we, because if you can't be we. But let me say, I'm not disagreeing with you, James. I'm just saying that.
I promise you. Sugar Sean already told us what you do in the community and everything. Not downing anything that you do. I promise you.
He needs to run.
Understand that part. We're not doing that. It's what we talked about at the beginning of the show. We're trying to get us as you say, we black people, to get more into this process, because and I get what you're saying about, getting people to do, to do what we need for them to do. But the only way we can get somebody there to do what we need for them to do is to vote them in. And so I heard you just say, and I promise
No. That's not how we get them to do what we need to do. We get to them to do what we need to do by putting their feet to the fire. We want this, we want that, we don't want that. And if we don't get this, then we're not voting.
Okay, so now, but here's what I'm saying.
And he's going to come groveling. Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you that.
Okay, but now if you don't vote for anybody, who feet can you put to the fire?
That part. Somebody help me.
That's true. Hold. Who feet can you put to the fire if you don't vote for nobody?
And when you didn't ask
wait. Answer that part. Don't give me a question. Answer that part. Who feet can we put to the fire if we don't put nobody there to work for us?
I'm going to answer and don't cut me off. You can't put anybody's feet to the fire. You can't put anything to the fire. But you cannot put anybody's feet to the fire either if you win the voting booth and you change Democrat, and you didn't ask for nothing.
Even if you asked for something.
You didn't put no money in their campaign.
I heard you.
You didn't.
I heard you.
You didn't question. You didn't demand anything. They're not going to do anything. That's why when you talk about playing chess, that's how you play chess.
So you're saying that we need to
did that with Trump.
So you're saying
Trump.
So you're saying we need to put money. We need to put money into it put money into their campaign. But now, after we put money into their campaign, do we vote for them?
You have a super PAC. That's part of it.
So if you're not voting,
money in the campaign.
But if you're not voting at all, how does that work?
So James, what's up, man?
I'm rewinding. I'm talking about the proper way to approach it.
Right. So you know that we've had this discussion. You know, I disagree with the not voting thing, but I think that I understand what you're saying, and I think that to clear everything up, what you're trying, if you can correct me if you feel that I'm wrong. What you're actually saying is, if we're voting for anybody, we should be receiving something for it. Basically, similar to what Ice Cube was saying. Instead of just voting Democrat or Republican.
We just voted for Biden, who didn't want to have a conversation with us about anything that we wanted. You know what I mean? Like, people dancing in the street for this man who put over 800,000 black men in jail with his crime bill.
So hold on, but at the end of the day, right?
That's a false narrative, man. You need to do your research on it.
Did you
false narrative? But do your research.
Did you go to Kamala Harris and Biden's website? These people
narrative.
actually had the same thing you're saying that they didn't do. They had. It's on their website.
We listen to media hype, but we don't do our own homework.
Bro,
we
I
listen to media hype, we
downloaded
don't do our own homework.
That's a fact. 800,000 black men didn't go to jail due to the crime bill.
Absolutely did not. You listen
So
to the
what's your
media hype.
And again, man, I promise you, because I was that person that honestly was voting just because other people voted for that person. I was that person, and I'm still being educated on. So that's why I'm in the middle here. I'm still working on doing my research and everything. I've learned more by doing this show than I have in my own research. It's actually made me start researching. And I hear what you're saying, but the thing that you keep talking about Biden, and yeah, you're right. We're dancing in the streets. And we just talked about that earlier. A lot of people voted just to get that other guy out of the office. That's why they're dancing in the streets. But even on the local part of things, was there anybody that was on the ticket, on any part of the ticket, any part of it, that you made demands to?
In your backyard.
In your backyard.
I made demands too, no.
Okay, so with that being said, was there anybody on the ticket that was getting demands from somebody that you knew in your backyard?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm sure there was, but
in other words, what I'm saying is, I mean, you didn't make the demands, but is there anybody in your community that made demands to somebody that was on the ticket?
I mean, there's a lot of people in Brooklyn that made demands.
I mean, no. But that's what I'm saying.
People, I can't specifically tell you. But the point that I'm making, right, is that the reason I didn't vote with it because I was in all the marches, whatever, for George Floyd. I'm out on the streets, whatever. Right? I'm seeing the opportunity that we have as a people. This is unprecedented time. The whole world was watching Black America, and we didn't handle the situation the right way. You know what I mean? So it's like this is not going to turn. I already see it's not going to turn out good. So it's like, why even get involved, bro? We fucked it up. Excuse my language. We didn't take advantage of an optimal opportunity.
Okay, so with that being said, because you just said that, but that being said, you just said that you didn't make any demands. So,
bro, I'm one individual.
But there's a bunch of individuals who make the same statement.
It's not going to make a difference. When this thing is not going in the right direction, I'm not going to go in that same direction. It doesn't make sense. It's an exercise of futility.
James, this is
James. Hey, James, let me ask you a question, man, because I heard you say something, and I'm curious as to where the rest of your process was going to go. So I heard you say that what we need is a super PAC. What is your where do you think we're going to go with that? Because and I'm gonna get your answer, and then I'm going to try to clarify some of this stuff and what they actually do and how they engage, and where we're missing out as Black people in the political process.
At the end of the day, politics is about money. These politicians are prostitutes. They do whatever you say, do a little something strange for some change. You tell them, you put money in their pocket for the chance. You have leverage on them now. You heard this guy, Bloomberg, said it. He had a fraudulent slip when he said, "Yeah, such and such, I bought him. I mean, I didn't buy. I put money into his campaign." He said he bought one of his candidates, or someone he was referring to. But so he, that's just an obvious statement right there. You could buy these guys. You know what I mean? So you put money into their super PAC, into their campaign. You have leverage to ask for things. That's number one. We come together as a people so that they know that, hey, these guys are united and that they're not going to vote, or at least they're threatening not to vote if we don't do certain things. Now conversations open up. And that's what I'm saying. We need to do what we should have done.
Okay, so let's get into a couple of real quick. The first thing I'm talking about, it's not the fact that money is the power, because actually power is what the real power is, the access to it. We don't have enough money collectively. We can't put enough money into a super PAC to compete with your Fortune 100s and people of that nature. Let me tell you why.
What is a super PAC?
Huh?
What is a super PAC?
He's saying a super PAC, political action committee.
Thank you. That's what I wanted him to get to the bottom. Political action committee.
Yeah. So
that's all I wanted to hear.
When you get into those things, man, you're talking about. You're not talking about them doing stuff. When people pay that kind of money, first off in politics, they're paying for access. That's why you only see the wealthy getting those kind of invitations, because those are the people that they deal with on a regular basis. Because I heard several people ask you the question here tonight. The issue that we have to realize is that the majority of our politics needs to start off and be focused on the local level. Politics is the only industry in which change actually trickles uphill.
Right there.
Because people, if you get 30, we'll use the state of Georgia. If you get 30 counties in the state of Georgia to make a particular law, I guarantee you within 2 years you can get that into the state law. Flip that just into on the national level. If you get 30 states to do something and to dictate a law, you can then make that a national or federal law across the board. We sit here and we miss our political opportunities by not touching the people in our communities who actually can change and affect laws. One of my boy Darren does this. Has a show. He's a former police officer. He always talks about the fact that y'all keep forgetting sheriffs are elected officials. Mm-hmm. Prosecutors are elected officials in these local cities. Mm-hmm. And you brought up George Floyd. Stop going to the federal government to come in and do something on a municipal level. That's where we're missing the process at. That's what my man was trying to say to you. He's like, we need to get engaged in politics heavily on the local level. You can walk into the sheriff's office and demand change with enough people.
I mean,
with no money.
Not a dime.
I mean, that sounds good.
You kind of address something
that's facts.
It's not the sound.
Can I say one?
You said that you don't have enough money to, compete against bringing that company down company. Of course, that's a fact. But we're not asking for the same thing that those people are asking for, right?
Yes, you are.
Our tax. Hold on. We're not asking for the same thing they ask for. These are pharmaceutical companies who want to manipulate the laws and give vaccines, do whatever they want to do. That's the things that they want. Black people in our community, we have certain things that we need that we can ask for that's not going to conflict, and we don't have to compete against these major companies. So certain things in our community we can ask for and put money behind it and get those things done. So for instance, we need some parks, we need small business loans, we need whatever. And if we take the money we pull together, talk to politicians that can get those things done, and we can get it. We can make some progress. We're not competing against Pfizer and other people.
I think, James, I think we all understand the premise of your point. I just think that too many black people use that as a reason to not vote at all. And I think that's where we drop the ball at. it's not a reason to not vote at all. And if you don't just have to go down the list and vote Democrat. There's Google. There's all you can find out every single person. My son voted for the first time this year, and he did his own research on every single candidate. Didn't have to tell him. He did his own. You know what I'm saying? So we can't use the excuse of what we don't know. It's up to us to find that out. But to say I don't vote, and it's not singling you out. It's just I'm saying it's too many people who have that same mindset to say I'm not gonna do it because of this reason, but you're missing the bigger picture, which is, the think locally, vote globally mentality. We have to vote for those smaller interparts. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're missing. That's why President Obama didn't get so many things accomplished because the votes we got destroyed in the midterm elections. You know what I'm saying?
They voted for him in the presidency, but
and it's our people, and it's our people who aren't doing it. You know what I mean? And we keep saying, we're using different reasons why we're not doing it, but we're not going out to vote. And then when things happen, we say, oh, well, I mean,
And can I say this with this election here, James? And this is this is my last point. In this election here, it showed me and anybody that could see that metro areas can carry a state.
That part.
Right or is that not what we seen in Pennsylvania? Hold on, let me ask you: is that not what we seen in Pennsylvania and Atlanta? Two major.
I agree with that.
So in these two major states that are predominantly Republican states and have been predominantly Republican states in the election, the metro city that is predominantly patrolled by black people, we carried these elections and we turned these states. So you can say that you didn't get involved this time. Okay, you didn't get involved this time, but you have a time coming up to get involved in the election.
Because we turned them red, we turned them blue for the presidential election, but they still they didn't lose any power in the Senate and the Congress.
That's not true. Listen, James,
we're on the brink of change as we speak.
Now, listen, right now there is 4. So that's what I'm saying, James. So right now, that's what I said. You can get involved. So right now we have 4 Senate seats that have not been decided. 4 of them, and right now we're already +1 for the Democratic ticket, regardless of what party you believe in. You have the opportunity to research, hold accountable, and vote for these people. That's all I'm saying. You didn't get involved this time, but you say you're more enlightened, you did more research. The reality of it is, in order to be a person who can speak on these comments, you have to get involved.
I'm going to read this real quick. The midterm elections, folks mad at President Obama because they want him to create a miracle. We lost the House and the Senate. The Tea Party was ushered in, and President Obama's agenda was dead in the water.
That part.
And this is what started the downturn. You know what I mean? I really wanted Shaka to hear this. I hope he's still on somewhere. That's why I tried to get him back on the phone because, I just think he was just wrong.
He's misinformed.
He wasn't wrong. There you go. The word.
He's misinformed. Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
I could not bring myself to vote for a senile white man with a track record of over 47 years of doing nothing and creating bills.
How did you feel about President Obama's 8 years?
I don't think he did enough for black people.
You don't think he did enough?
He signs the bills.
He did a lot for gays. He did a lot for alphabet people. He did nothing for black people.
The president signs the bills.
And I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying there.
He wasn't a king.
But
he wasn't a freaking king.
But what we need, man, is
he had 2 out of 8 years where we had the Senate and the House. 2 out of 8.
Well, his party had control.
Just keep that in mind. 2 out of 8 years.
And I get what you're saying about not voting
I think we're missing that point.
The black lady and Biden that hadn't done anything in 47 years.
Down the whole process of Senate and all that. Obama didn't even stand on his 10 toes down and just say, "Yo, I'm against unarmed black men getting killed." He didn't even take a position on that.
He did. Let me say this. Hey, hold on. Let me ask you this, James. When you get when you get a job, because the president. Hold on. Let me ask this. The president is a job, correct? It's a job, right? Like anything you get into a job. When you get into this job, when you start the job, you don't know how to do it when you first do it. You're getting into the job, right? You're learning. It's like a learning experience. Even if your major, let's just say your major is whatever you're doing your job, and you still, when you start a job, it's a learning experience. It's not something that you know how to do immediately off the bat. You don't have any experience in it. So to hold somebody to a certain standard that is imaginary, because it's an imaginary standard, because he's never been in this job. Nobody's ever been in this position. Nobody's ever ascended to this level. So to hold him, what standard are you holding to him? You saying he didn't do enough? What is enough? That's what I'm asking you, James. What could he have done for us? Because we have to know what that is, because in order to hold him to that standard, we have to know what you expected him to do.
We want him to come in on a cape with an S on his chest.
The thing is, we put too much on the seat of the president.
Correct.
So James, I get you when you just said that you couldn't bring yourself to vote for the white man that hadn't done anything in 47 years, and also the black lady that was putting a lot of people in jail. But the only thing that I think most of the people I just want you to vote, but I think what they're saying is you have to vote for the local and hold their feet to the fire so that they can then make sure that seat in the White House.
Conversation past that, please.
Say it again.
Let's progress the conversation past the local vote. You emphasize that. I mean.
That's where it began.
But that's the whole point of your.
He said let's progress the conversation. I don't know what he said. He said let's progress our conversation past the local. That's where it starts.
That's the most important part.
That's still.
I promise you, bro. Look, and I'm sitting here and I get what you're saying, but I promise you, research how the local vote will help your community more. And I know you're gonna say you have. Just hear me out for a second.
Let me say this.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna let you talk. Hold on, I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay, me as though I don't have any knowledge about how politics work and the different levels of government. So you guys are taking a position without understanding.
Well, we're only taking the position because you didn't vote at all, which means you skipped all those local elections. That's why we pointed at. Because you didn't vote at all, which means you skipped all of those.
Basically, if anything happens right now, there's nothing that you can be mad at.
In your city.
Yeah, there's nothing you can be mad at because you didn't vote for the person that probably could have helped you out.
No judges.
Cliche rhetoric.
Say it again.
That's cliche rhetoric right there.
That's not rhetoric. See, this is the problem that we run into as a people when we sit here and say that the local stuff is just rhetoric. Because George Floyd did not get the federal judges didn't have anything to do with his case. Those were local judges. Ahmaud Arbery, the federal government didn't have anything to do with his case initially. It had to go to that point because the local people did not do their jobs. See, that's why I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I brought my boy Darren up again, just real quick. The people in Ferguson. With all that stuff, we were doing this show when the stuff in Ferguson first happened. Did you realize that at the beginning of that whole process, what happened in Ferguson, the black people in Ferguson literally were 70% of the population. For years, these white folks had 70% of the people in this community under their thumb. 30% had the 70 because these black people were not voting. Guess what just happened this past year in Ferguson?
Black mayor.
They've elected their first black mayor in Ferguson's history because they had that conversation and people explained to them that the local situation is where your changes come from.
Okay, say that again,
Brother,
James.
I am in New York City, and New York City will forever be a Democratic state.
What?
So,
New York City, New York City is always going to be Democrats.
That's about 30
New York
cents.
is always going to be Democrats. So just.
But let me say this, but let me say y'all
we couldn't get Shaka back.
So let me say this, y'all from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
y'all from Brooklyn, right?
That's why I told him he ain't vote.
You from Brooklyn, James?
But at the end of the day, we gonna vote for.
So, but y'all from?
Call Chaka.
I'll call him back. I gotta wait till he. But James from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Brooklyn is gentrified, right? Like y'all are gentrified now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
Brooklyn been Brooklyn. I mean, it's just you got a bunch of white people in Brooklyn, a bunch of black people in Brooklyn. I mean, it is what it is.
So that's
it's
what I'm
gonna
saying.
be what it is. It's always been like that.
Hey, Jane, we don't want to go back and forth with you, brother. We you know, I hope you didn't take it the wrong way. We're just encouraging all of our people to vote regardless.
Man, I'm not feeling no way. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, we just trying to encourage everybody to get their voice heard, and you can't get your voice heard by.
I just want to check back with y'all in a couple of years and see how what your boys body did for you, man.
Well, if we don't keep vote, if we don't vote, we're probably going to be worse than what we are right now.
If we don't come out in the midterm elections, Joe gonna catch the business. Because if Republicans take over again, it's going to be just like Obama.
Yo, personally, for me, I feel like even though, we definitely, I got out there and I voted, and I could not, vote for Trump or have him in office. But, when it really comes down to it, we're looking at this panel, it's all black men. So we really still got to get back out there, regardless of who's in office, and get in our communities and do what we need to do to help our young black brothers and our young people so they can move in the right direction. Because, Republican, Democrat, Malcolm X said this. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They're not for you. We got to do what we got to do. It's a left wing and a right wing, and a left wing, a right wing, and they all on the same bird. But at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do as people, especially as influencers in our society and in our community, to help our people. That's just how I feel.
My man, I promise you. Appreciate you calling in. I want you to call back in another time we do this politic thing. I'm going to make sure that we, Sugar Sean, give me your information so we can make sure that we let you know when we're doing this again. That's good?
It cut out.
It cut
out. Yeah, I get it for you.
All right. Good deal.
No commercials today, boy. We going in.
Yeah, well, you don't have time for them, man.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, we need to hear things like that.
But see, that's what I was saying.
We need to hear
that's what I just said earlier.
Yeah.
I just want to read these stats. We can't get Shaka back on the phone, but President Obama granted clemency to more than 1,900 people in office, commuted sentences of people in prison or pardoned them. Analysis found that Obama granted clemency to more people convicted of federal crimes than any president in 64 years. The analysis also notes the administration asked for requests for clemency in their clemency initiative, which I wanted our boy Shaka to hear, the clemency initiative for federal prisons, since he said he did nothing for the federal prisons. You know what I'm saying? But he's wrong. But he wanted to know what it was. Look up the clemency initiative, Brother Shaka, wherever you are, and it reduced sentence for federal inmates who were convicted in all 50 states. That was for my boy Shaka. And I already read off the one Nita sent out about the 2010-12 midterm elections, which is that's what killed us. That's why certain initiatives didn't get done. Let me point out the initiative that was mentioned. I want to point this out. President Obama's second term bring the jobs bill, the infrastructure, and the transportation bill to the floor. Dead. Republicans conducted pro forma sessions preventing President Obama from doing anything.
Dead.
Brother Shaka. Dead.
Because we didn't vote for our midterm elections because we voted for Obama, but then 2 years later we're like, hey, we got Obama in the White House. We're good. Everything's great.
Hey, man, before you got here, that's what we talked about. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Now what? You cannot stop.
We're going to hold Joe's seat to the fire.
You can't stop just because we got 45 out. And that's what I'm afraid of with our people is that we got him out, and now they're happy. Same thing, we got Obama in, we were happy. And we stopped at that point. And I'm praying that we don't stop at that point. I'm praying that we keep trying to get this equality thing moved forward. And this is for our local elected officials, too. You know, again, we have to hold them to the, like you said,
You gotta be accountable.
North Carolina and Georgia, if you want to move the nation forward, show up in January.
North Carolina still voting for the Senate too?
Yes, North Carolina and Georgia. It's 2 seats in 2 seats in Georgia, 1 seat in North Carolina.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know North Carolina was
I
still
want
on
to
the
say
team.
is in
Missouri just got its
Arizona.
first black female congressman.
Is in Arizona.
I will be there on Thursday. I'm gonna start talking to them people. When I
But
get there.
you know what's really funny that people need to remember, especially what we have to remember? We know that Biden won. He had 74 million votes.
And climbing.
Okay. But dude, it was 70 million people
We talked about
that
it
voted
earlier.
for Trump.
Yeah.
See, they gonna come
Climbing.
back out and vote.
Absolutely.
They're gonna come back out at the midterm.
These Senate elections are going to be
it.
just as big as a presidential election. It's going to be so
2022
the money
is
about
gonna be
spent
amazing.
on these
And-
elections.
and-
Going to be ridiculous.
This is
Yes,
why
sir.
I
They going
implore
in.
anybody out there that has any type of platform, make sure that you keep preaching about these midterms, these Senate seats. Make sure you keep preaching about it because we got up in roar for the president's election. Boy, we
Raw,
was
raw,
ready.
raw.
We was ready, man. It's
Who
blue.
wants some?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's blue.
look,
Georgia's blue.
How I look at it
mean,
now is I look
bluish.
at numbers.
It's
I'm a
bluish.
numbers person.
Bluish right now, but
and
it'll
I
be blue.
No, I see the numbers show that if the people show up like they did this election, that
We'll win.
We'll win. If
Yeah, and
I can't-
Historically,
It was a
Democrats don't come back to those elections. They just don't come back to them.
and then after
hopefully
that-
this.
go ahead.
I'm just saying, hopefully this change. I hope they don't go back to sleep.
And
Google
Everybody
David
woke up,
Perdue.
just don't go
And
back
the
to
thing
sleep.
is, and the thing is,
Cindy-
after
Cindy Law.
we vote,
Don't start,
it
don't.
does not stop there. Even for the midterms, you still have to hold the people accountable.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it now because I'm just learning about it. Honestly, I ain't gonna tell you no wrong, bro. I voted for the president. I was like, yeah, we good. I was one of them. Man, sitting up here, especially sitting next to this guy, bro.
You mean you ain't been listening to me all these years we known each other?
When I'm up here every week and it's
Okay.
coming right in here, my right ear is my good ear, bro.
Your good ear? I was on your other side,
When
that's
I when I
right.
talk on the phone, this is where that bud is right here. I just put music in the other ear, but this one, bro, this is where it come in at. This is where I learn at.
That's
I
right,
promise you,
okay.
man, I've learned a lot.
You know that's 10%
sitting up
the VA,
here, man.
right? You know
Huh?
that's 10% the VA. You can get your 10%.
Hey, matter of fact, let's get there because we went long. You know, Veterans Day is tomorrow.
Hey!
Veterans Day is tomorrow. You know, so
Beat that, right?
I no, we ain't got to beep it. I did my 6. I did it. All right. You gonna call Low? You gotta talk to him. Call him then.
Yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts. Does that count?
Ain't no whispering in here. You gonna call Low? Call Low. Yeah, bro.
I was a Boy Scout. That's not a veteran.
I want to stay here tonight. I gotta get up.
Hey man, but for real, getting on this veteran thing.
Okay, bro.
Getting on this thing, I honestly, I can be honest with you. I said this before. When I went into the military, is because I grew up in a single mother household, and I didn't know the value of scholarships and what you could really get with it as far as college. I went into the military basically to keep from being a hindrance to my mother, and I could have my own bills paid and all that type of stuff. But as you get in there, you learn the brotherhood, and you find out that you're actually doing something. And after I got out, I recognized how important we really were. When you're in there, man, it's regular life. When you're in there, you living, and you getting your paychecks on the 15th and the 31st, or the 30th, or the 28th, or 29th, or whatever. You get those paychecks. You know that direct deposit come a little early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you getting those paychecks, and you just living, and you having. You know, it's like you think about it as a regular job almost, until that call come.
And you got to start squeezing bullets.
Yeah, and they put you on that plane and they give you the weapon that does not have blanks in it. That's when I recognized that we was here for the service of the country, because honestly I didn't go in to fight for the country.
210 rounds.
I
That's
didn't
a basic load.
I went on plenty of what they call alerts. Those practice alerts. And they give you the weapon and you have your blanks in it. But the first time that I actually went, I went to Panama and they gave me a weapon and I was looking at it. I was like, man, this thing is clean. This don't look like my weapon. Then when they gave me the magazine, I was Hey man, these look real. Yeah, man. We going. We're going right
about
now.
to ride, bro.
So salute to all of you that have served, all of you that are serving. You're not veterans yet, but all of you that are serving. I have a son out there right now. He's new into it. He's enjoying life. He hadn't seen that other part of it yet. I have a nephew out there that was just deployed, just came back. United States Marine Corps. This dude is at 10 years. He was gonna get out, but now that 45 is gone, he's gonna stay in. I'm proud of him. He said if 45 stayed in, he knew they was going to a real war, and he wasn't messing with that.
Bro, they don't realize how close we came to a shooting war with Iran.
He tried.
We were right there at the.
He wanted war
breach.
so bad.
I'm gonna tell you something.
He wanted to drop them nukes.
Hey,
That's
man,
what he wanted to do.
You start messing. Go on.
Do you know what a Moab is?
Nah, I told you.
It's called the mother of all bombs. That's what Moab stands for.
That's what we have.
We dropped one
in Hiroshima or something.
Over in Afghanistan. We dropped the largest bomb next to a nuclear weapon under this president. And somebody was trying to argue with me, well, President Trump didn't start no wars. Bitch, Barack didn't start no wars either, but he just had to keep fighting what we were already in. So, but he dropped the most deadliest munition next to the nuclear bomb that we have in our arsenal.
Hey man, this guy was about to get us into a war.
Man, y'all better come on.
Yeah, we was fighting a war where people would run into the thing with a bomb strapped to them. But I'm talking about going into a war against people that can actually shoot you from afar the same way that we do. They ain't got to actually run a car into your area and blow it up.
We had they got some things out there, y'all.
So 45 being out is I think it's a great thing for our military brothers out there, brothers and sisters out there. Again, salute any veterans out there that's listening to this. I salute all of you, bro, because I went through it.
Get your free meal. Get your free meal. You earned that shit.
Get a meal?
Oh, bro. Hey,
what y'all be eating? Like, what they eat y'all?
Hey,
I gotta go with my aunt Nita. She got a list of every veteran's spot you can go to.
Wow. I'll tell you the spot I
was
used
a Boy
to go
Scout,
to.
no?
Scalini's.
Yeah, Boy Scouts ain't gonna get it.
Hey man, go to Scalini's in Smyrna. It's up there by the Best Buy. Have your ID card or something to show that you served.
A lot of them giving vouchers this year.
You eating for free.
Mine's you don't know that. A lot of them giving vouchers this year too. So you just got to go in the month of November. So you got to stand in line all day. A lot of spots.
I'm here to go to a couple spots tomorrow.
Nah, that's real.
I'm gonna get my fat boy on tomorrow.
Do I eat free too if I come with you?
Well,
I mean, they told me, like, how does this work?
Nah, you just.
What happened?
I got to show a veteran's card?
Yeah,
Can you show your card and then I give it to me and I show it?
Because they don't even give you drinks neither. I had to buy my own drinks.
No drinks? I ain't going.
That depends where you go.
Yeah,
because I went to not Sizzlers, but
Sizzlers still around?
They hook a veteran up.
Oh, okay. You said
some of them hook a veteran up.
See, look, hold on.
Go on the website.
Wait. See. You see what you just said? The Sizzler's still around?
Sizzlers is gone.
I show my age.
He just showed his age.
God,
Sizzlers.
I tried to roll that back.
Sizzlers was around when I was in kindergarten.
Look, back when I could eat shrimp, they had that steak and all you can eat shrimp. Boy, what you talking about?
You
word? Sizzlers.
When I was at West Georgia, man, they did that junk on Sunday. Well, I tell you, we scraped up the money to hit the Sizzler boy to get that steak and all you can eat shrimp.
All you can eat shrimp?
Hey, we did like earthquake. You can eat here no more.
Look,
we sat there, boy. We sat there for hours, boy. Just wait, let that junk go back down. You know what I mean? Get another round of shrimp.
Man.
Full of man.
Lo said he pulled up to the buffet with a seat.
Take a book with you so you can go to the bathroom and come back out. Hey, give me another one.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Sizzlers. Sizzlers was the move, man.
If we can find the Sizzlers out here, let me know, man. I'm pulling them. I'll pay.
You know what? I'm about to Google that shit just to find out.
Find me a Sizzlers. We going to dinner tomorrow. I mean, find me a Sizzlers. I'm going with y'all tomorrow. I just want to see Sizzlers.
I let my age show on that one, didn't I?
Yeah,
it's all right, man.
I ate that plenty of days, bro. So I did.
Hey, listen.
I can dig it. That all you can eat shrimp.
Do 20, I heard.
He wouldn't have recognized it. You heard what he said earlier. She was just saying, first she said happy Veterans Day to everybody except the ones who voted, except the folks who voted for 45 because he called veterans suckers and losers.
Yep. We're what?
He did now 45.
Yeah, he did say
suckers
that.
and losers?
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, that dude. Listen, man.
They still voting for his ass.
His integrity. That dude is the worst thing ever to happen to this country, man. Like he was the worst, but the best thing because he actually was able to show us what a lot of people really think and who they are, and there's 70-something million of them out there.
Don't hide.
70-something million.
70-something million out of 300 million people.
Time out.
And 18% of Uncle Tom.
It'd be like the policies and the things that they say he passed for black people. It'd be just so new. And I'd be like, okay, so did you believe in him or follow him, 2 to 3
See, I was at HBCU.
You know what I'm saying?
We talked about HBCUs a minute ago. Anita made a point. She said that on Roland Martin's show, and I do remember hearing that he asked all the black college presidents who received the money. Correct. And none of them ever received it.
None of them
So he got the money set aside. So he said, but if none of the colleges received it, then what did you do? You just put something on pay? I don't.
Okay,
you're right. It don't make no sense.
Throw something in there real quick. What Mr. 45 DJT, Donald John Trump, what happened was people were tired of the bullshit of Washington, and they wanted a disruptor. But what they didn't realize when they voted for this guy, that he was a destructor instead of an interrupter. He did not interrupt things they were doing, cleaning out the swamp. He brought more swamp with bigger gators. He did not say, hey, we're going to stop all this bickering amongst each other because I'm the great deal maker. He didn't make not a damn deal. Because Nancy called his punk ass. She called him out. You want to do what? What you got, Mr. President? And he's like, But then a lot of people that voted for him the first time around are my military brothers and sisters that, they still rocking with him. I'm like, are you serious? He called the ones that didn't make it back home that you and I have had to have ceremonies for losers and suckers because they didn't get anything out of it? Are you freaking kidding me?
He called McCain a loser for being captured.
A POW.
I mean,
McCain could have got out the next goddamn day because of who his daddy and his granddaddy was. He could have been released the next day. Oh, you're Admiral McCain's son? Shit, can we get something for you releasing you? McCain said, no, I'm stay here with. And I've heard a lot of other bad shit. Oh, McCain suckered up. No, McCain suffered through. I'm gonna call it a bullshit flag. I love all my people that still support him. I ain't got nothing against y'all.
I don't love them.
Y'all wanted to change Washington. Washington needs a change. Hopefully, y'all realize that they didn't need a destruction, but a restruction.
Can I say this too?
I'm done.
Also too.
Yeah. Say the last thing about this dude.
If you want, no, this is about the election.
Can I say something too?
If you want to see John Ossoff bring back Morris Brown, like I do, okay, all right. I'm from the AUC where Morris Brown was there, okay.
Whatever.
All right. So if you want John Ossoff, he said that he was gonna bring back Morris Brown.
I missed
the bubbling brown sugar. If you know what I'm talking about, okay,
I missed that.
and you remember Morris Brown like I remember Morris Brown, you should vote for John Ossoff because he wants to bring Morris Brown back. All right, that's all I got to say. Black colleges is not back, but Trump gave all this money, but Morris Brown ain't back. So John Ossoff said directly that he was bringing Morris Brown back. That's all I'm saying. I want to see that happen.
But you know what? Anybody but Purdue. Come on, man.
Yeah, Purdue is crazy. He a racist.
But let me say this: we want items, okay? That's a shiny item to me, okay? You want an item? He gonna bring the bubbling brown sugar back.
Yo, we gotta. I think we just gotta thank
bubbling brown sugar.
We really gotta thank the coronavirus,
Bruh,
for what the coronavirus has done to this country. Because I mean, to be honest with you, in my opinion, and opinions like an asshole, everybody got one. My opinion, if coronavirus and COVID didn't happen, Donald Trump probably be president again.
But why?
Because people were lost. They just watching a reality
they
show.
sitting at home now. You got time to study.
That's why I say
everybody on my damn ballot.
That's why I think the coronavirus, because it woke a lot of us up, and we got to really sit back because we lost a lot of people, man. We lost a lot of people in our community because of this coronavirus, and a lot of us started waking up because we lost a lot of close friends to this, man. Like I lost one of my best friends. I told you every day who they were calling on the phone to this coronavirus. But again, it's woke us a lot up because we were able to stay in the house, get away from all the material nonsense, and actually really pay attention to what's going on in the community, in the society, in our country. And I want to say thank you, Mr. COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
I said that earlier, man. I feel that the pandemic had people sitting still long enough to actually see it, and actually make themselves question themselves, or it brought questions up in their head to the Google. I'm sure Google had record numbers.
Google been running.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm surprised Google server didn't go down, because I'm sure people have been researching, a lot of people, because again, they've been in the house. Most people has been in the house. There's just so many reality shows and Netflix you can look at.
You argue with a Trump supporter, they tell you the browser to take off your phone so you can't research.
Man, that man said, I never seen somebody losing and said, stop the count. He said, yo, stop the count. He said, yo, I'm losing, but that's it, it's over. I won. Stop the count. Yo, who does that?
And in my belief, he probably actually thought that he was winning. Dude,
no.
I'm just looking at his history of the way he's acted and everything. He probably really thought that he was ahead.
Oh, this dude
was behind.
Seriously, he was ahead in certain states because they allowed. They didn't count the mail-in ballots until after. And
thank you, COVID.
Election, he was ahead.
Thank you,
but
COVID.
After.
Thank you, COVID.
But like I said earlier, we learned that lesson.
Thank you, Trump, for filing a lawsuit before the election for them not to count the votes until the day of the election.
Yeah, listen, we in a democracy.
We learned from the last one, man. We didn't wait till election day. I was looking at Fox and the local Fox, Atlanta Fox station, and it was on election day. It was the afternoon news set, like 12 o'clock or whatever. And the Falcons had put out a food truck out at this voting poll where they say it is notorious for having long lines. And the guy said, hey, we got the food truck out here. We got plenty of food, plenty of water. He said, we got Harry the Falcon. Is it Harry? No, that's Harry the Hawk. What's the Falcon name? The Falcon guy was out there, the little dancing Falcon, all the cheerleaders. DJ was out there. They was partying. He said, the thing is, we don't have no voters.
No voters. That's right.
You know why? Because they voted early. Nobody waited. Nobody waited until election day to vote. And that's why I say we learned our lesson from the last time. Now, they still tried. There was a couple of places. I know in Cobb County, there was one poll where the judge had to come in and rule that they had to stay open to 7:45. Because they didn't open up. The poll manager, or whatever you want to call him, poll supervisor, didn't get there. They couldn't open up at all. Dude had one job. Wake up and get there and open up the doors. All he had to do. But that day he overslept.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy?
That's what that fight that town in Alabama I was talking about. Yeah, that was her job. She'd open it up. And they were trying to vote.
You want to hear something? We just thinking and listening to you guys right now in my brain, how I'm thinking. I think that the Republican Party knows that Donald Trump has lost the election. They know it's over. They know it's done. All this stuff that's going on is they don't want to piss him off so that they can keep his followers, so they can keep voting in
that part.
a lot of the Senate to be Republican. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they want to vote in all those Republican senators and all that other stuff. So they know if they piss him off, he may say something crazy that might be like, everybody be like, forget it.
But my question is, how can
I think that they really they know it's over. But they don't want to piss him off. They got to ride with him so that they can get their Republicans in the Senate. That's all I think. I don't know. I mean,
can I make an honest admission? I was a Republican. Everybody look at me like I'm crazy as hell. But I was in the military for 25 years. Republicans paid us to go fight. Democrats were like, we're going to give you a pay raise, but it's going to be 0.2%. Motherfucker, you do it. I'm about to walk out here and might face a bomb. Republicans, presidents, were like, we're trying to get you a 2.3% pay raise, which benefit me and my family immediately. But once I retired, I realized it was bigger than just me and my family, because I see what my mom was going through. I see what my sisters that didn't be in the military were going through. And as a military member, that dude gonna give me more money to go do what I do. But now that I'm no longer in, and this is for all you guys out there that are retired, that are my buddies, check this out. The Republican Party ain't what it used to be under Reagan. It's not the same party. I was looking at...
Well, Reagan was terrible too, but
Reagan was not terrible.
No,
Reagan.
We don't got enough time.
We will talk about that offline.
Yeah, we can do that
but
offline.
The Republican Party used to be I read a statistic today that says the Republican Party is about job creation, immigrants. They were about fair guys in the who them guys in the with the union fair unions. This is the Republican Party of 1970s. That shit ain't but 50 years ago.
Yeah,
that shit done completely flip script.
I just want to tell you something, brother. We will never look at you like you crazy because of what you used to do or whatever.
Crazy.
We looking at you like you crazy just because you went a wife beater and a blazer. But other than that,
I made that shit look good, nigga. Hold on, wait.
That's why we looking at you like crazy. Other than that, yo, your opinion is your opinion. Like everybody can say what they gotta say, and there's no judgment zone here. But
I'm in the green.
Nah, but once you pull the wife beater out,
so much money. They make so much money during the war. You know, what was Bush's vice president?
Cheney.
Who had the contract but just turned the junk over. I mean, they made generational wealth. Generational
wealth on top of generational
even
wealth.
Bush came out and said, I don't, he even looking at it like, yo, how you not, like they showing all the sound bits of him conceding and like it's over, but they just want to appease this dude because he's a loose cannon. He's reckless, he will say something that will throw everything off, and they'll lose the entire Senate. They lose everybody, and he'll start turning around and be like, "Forget the Republican Party." He's gonna go crazy.
So let me say this too with the Kamala and Biden. These, we say we gotta hold these people's feet to the fire, right? And the things that they say, have meaning and effect. Like people won't say the '94 crime bill. Did Biden not within the last 2 months own up and say that it was a bad decision?
He said it was wrong.
He said it was wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Wrong. But the '94 crime bill was a federal law.
Didn't Kamala Harris say that she was wrong for how she felt like she treated incarcerated black men in California?
They politicians.
Let me say this. The difference is these people were willing. These people were willing to allow you to question them and then hold themselves accountable.
Beat them up.
The person that we're talking about, 45, in any situation, it's no situation.
It ain't been his fault yet.
It's never been his fault.
Whether it was good for his candidacy or not. He wasn't going to do it.
It was the stock market.
Come on, that's all I'm saying.
The stock market's doing good. I did my job. That's him.
Just characteristics and things of that. That's what I say in people's nature. Like, do you not see those little intricacies to people? I think that's a lot.
That speaks a lot about someone's integrity. That speaks a lot about them being owning up for their mistakes and But I also too I take a lot of some of that stuff.
You on fire tonight.
Yeah, I take a lot of that stuff with a grain of salt sometimes. Because at the end of the day, they still politicians. They all politicians. Donald Trump ran on the whole narrative that he's not a politician. He 100% a politician. He holding the highest office that any politician can hold in the United States of America. And he's a politician like anybody else. He just switched. He just did it in a different way.
No, he didn't do it. He didn't do it as a politician. He did it as the bully that he is.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he did it as a bully. Yeah, he did it as a bully that he is. You know what I mean? And that's the sad part is because he had the non-politician approach, he could have done so much better. He could have done so much more.
Right.
Because he said he does whatever he want to do. He said, no, that's stupid. We're going to do this. But he did what he did for who he's going to do it for. Donald Trump is for Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you said.
Yeah, Donald Trump is for Donald Trump.
The dude's a New Yorker. He's a billionaire. He got an attitude. I mean, he's who he is. He's about himself, like you said. That's it, man. He's just about himself.
He said Utah's 99%, 99.4% white, and their COVID rates are rising, and the governor called for a statewide mandate and he's getting
just called for that shit.
And they're protesting.
I'm gonna tell you this: wherever there's a red state, I'm not going on vacation. Like, I mean, because these people. Did you get the text message that they sent out, the blast text about the whole, these white supremacists, the KKK, and I mean, I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them with my own eyes living further down south in McDonough. I seen them pulling up to the bank, 3 or 4 in a car.
What was interesting today was I saw a post today about truckers. There's supposed to be a nationwide trucker protest where they said November 29th they're gonna park their trucks in protest of the election.
Well, my boy about to make a lot of money because he ain't gonna park his joint up.
I got a couple partners that are on the road right now.
Right. You know what? That'll help with traffic. I'll say that part. With traffic.
Hey, Sean, you got anything else, man? We gotta wrap this thing up.
Hey, listen.
Gone, so it's a wrap.
The cigars are done, so it's all over.
I know.
I feel like
time
flies when we having fun, man. This is a great conversation. It was a great time. Thank you guys for having me. Every time I come here, I always have a good time. At the end of the day, man, listen, man, we got a lot to do in our community. We got to get back out there and we can't keep dropping the ball as, the older generation. We got to get out there and we got to keep talking to the kids and kicking it with them and understanding that, look, man, we got to understand them because they live in the world we live in, even though we coincide in their world, it's a whole different world from where they live. Because I got a 14-year-old son, and the stuff that he does and the things that the way he moves, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how this works. When he sit down and start talking to me, I'm like, oh, I get it. So let's get back out there, man. I just want everybody to get back out there and let's do what we supposed to do because it's our job. It's our job. Like I told to you all the time, Lo, like it's hard for me to be on stage because I feel like I ain't talking about nothing. Like it's hard. Like I mean, I could come at you every day, all day. Yo, I need a weekend. I need this. I ain't talking about nothing. Let's do what we got to do and go out there and help the kids, man. And peace out. And look out for the Stockton show. I just landed a roll on that. The Stockton show is gonna be coming out soon. So, let's see how that goes, man. Peace and blessings. And I appreciate JT. I appreciate you, Lo, and I appreciate my brother who's talking to his liquor. I appreciate.
Hey, don't judge me.
I'm not judging you at all. No, there's no judge. I'm drinking too, but you was talking to the bottle. But I mean,
my bottle friend.
Yeah, the bottle is your friend, and we not looking at you crazy because of what you say. It's just what you do. Like,
or my wife beater. Don't judge me, dog.
Hey, David, I'm gonna have you go. But
go ahead.
What I just talked about the platform.
Yeah,
bro. While you on stage, drop it in the middle. Get it in there. Get it in there, man. If any platform that you have,
I do,
bro,
say something about it. You be surprised. It might be 150 people out there, but you might get through to 2. That's 2 that didn't know about it. So go ahead.
You did that.
I know
what you just said. You just said, I be up on stage sometimes. I don't think I'm talking about nothing. Drop that in the middle and watch what happens.
I'm telling you, my entire comedy set is changing. It's just like, we just got this stuff I gotta say, and it's things that I gotta do. Like, I mean, I'm a problem too. I'm a prime example of the problem. I moved out of the hood. I bought a house in the hood. I was living in the community. I was out there with the kids. I was talking to everybody, and I found a way to get a bigger house. And I left Brooklyn, and I'm gone, and I'm living out here in the suburbs, and I'm not even in the community fully out here. So all that has something to do with it. Like, I got to get back to that, and that's what I'm working on, is getting back into the community, and not just because I'm living the American dream, the big house, the white picket fence, and all this other nonsense. That's great. Yeah, I do actually, but that I do have I have a nice house, but forget the house. But at the end of the day, I look at it. I walk around my house. I talk to my kids. They walk around, but I'm like, I gotta get back to Brooklyn. I gotta get back to the community. I gotta get back. I gotta get out here in Atlanta. I gotta kick it with the people, because that's what I was doing when I was standing in the neighborhood in a house that I own, and the kids walking by. When I owned a store in the neighborhood, kids walking by, and they understand that I could act. A young man now, he's 30 years old, said the only reason he's able to be an entrepreneur is because he came to my store and he realized a black man could own a store. And if I had him on the phone, he would tell you, and that touched me. And my store was failing. I lost a couple $100,000 behind that store.
They don't see our failure,
but
dog. As entrepreneurs,
you understand,
dog,
that couple $100,000 that I lost behind having that store meant everything. Once that young man told me that only reason he's an entrepreneur and he's making money and doing what he gotta do is because he was a kid walking into my store and I welcomed him with open arms and I talked to him about business. So that's why even if you got a business, it's failing, whatever, understand the influence that we have in our community. And that's what we gotta continue to do. I mean, I'm not gonna keep going because we going for hours.
No. I gotta put you at least on my Facebook.
Nah, it's we gotta go back. We gotta go back. It's not about us driving the nice cars, having the money, doing all this, and we feel like it's not affecting us. Yes, it's affecting you directly. You know why? Because you got kids. And when your kids go back into the community, when your kids go back into the hood, and your kids go around, they getting pulled over, and things are happening, they gotta be the ones to know, oh, my daddy was a part of this, so you know what? Let me talk to my generation. You understand what I'm saying? So, each one teach one. That's why I'm here at the Uptown Comedy Corner. Because each one teach one. And I appreciate the Uptown Comedy Corner because Lo give you opportunity. I mean, he gonna give you opportunity. If it ain't working, he gonna be like, we gonna have a conversation. But he gonna give you opportunity. I mean, and that's real talk. And I respect that.
Everybody just low.
He say he'll tell you at the end of the day, we gotta revamp. And I'm like, all right, we gotta revamp. And he's had that conversation with me 8 million times, and he's still gonna let me have another show. He's like, well, what you gonna do different now? Like, I mean, but
that blows a move.
But that though, in itself though, allowing you to do business. And he doesn't just have a club, he allows you to have partnership with him because he'll tell you, I'll do this, I have this, and we get a percentage of this, and you get that percentage. So that's a partnership, that's business. But that's what we have to do as people though. All of us. It ain't about just if you own a store, you own a business, we gotta get back out there. Because we're failing our community. We're failing our community heavily because we moving out and we never coming back. Because we feel like we made it. But we didn't. That's why the same cycle is going on over and over and over and over again. Because none of us, and we got to say to ourselves, we failed our hood where we came from. You was born in a certain area. You was born in a certain community. You came up in a certain situations. You think that shit still ain't going on? You think the stories and the secrets that I gotta live with coming from Brooklyn, these kids ain't living with that same thing?
Today. Right now.
But the problem is that you don't have us. Like the older brothers was out there doing what they had to do. We gotta get back out there, man. We got no choice. That's why with Brother James on the phone, I wish he would have talked more about the Clean Up Brooklyn initiative. The bringing the kids, he coaching football, bringing the kids out, and we cleaning up Brooklyn. And we got the sanitation workers behind us. And we out there bringing gangbangers together and not putting it on tape so that they older OGs are not ridiculing them and getting at them for sitting next to a man they should be beefing with. Okay? We gotta get back out there. The real dudes. But we fell back because we think we live in a lavish lifestyle, living the love, living the life, going to Vegas, doing what we want, spending our money. We got money. Nah, we got to get back and we got to do what we got to do. And it's on us and it's our responsibility. In your 40s, your 50s, all that, it's our responsibility. Lo, just turn 50. You understand what I mean? I'm 42. I got 8 more years. We all in the same era. We all in the same era. The brothers in their 30s, we all in the same era. We got to hold ourselves accountable and ask ourselves, what do we do? What are you doing as an individual? Not looking at it for clout. The things that I do, I don't post it all over the place because that's not what it is. I'm a comedian. I'm going to post comedy stuff and me doing this, and every now and then I put up some other things. But in most of the part, I'm a comedian. But we still got to do stuff, even if it's silent.
You better preach on it, bro.
It don't matter who the president is, man. Malcolm X said that already. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Ain't none of them looking out for you. But the greatest thing that's going on right now, and in my opinion, and this is Sugar Sean's a fucking opinion. In my opinion, the greatest thing that's going on right now is you got people in the hood that would never come to the hood and realize that we have a problem and they have to ask, how can I help? So help. And we gonna tell you what we need. I'm done, man. I'm sorry.
You good, Sugar. Do that shit. Do that,
ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Sean.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm going to apply.
You all right?
Thank you. Appreciate the help over there.
All right, Mr. Price. Give me your last words. Tell everybody where they can follow. Oh.
Yeah,
just let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yo, listen, you can follow me at SugarSean23 on Instagram. SUGA-SEAN23 on Instagram. I'll give y'all a quick backdrop of where Sugar Sean come from. Sugar Sean, it come from the sugarcane fields. My family's from the Caribbean, but yet still I'm away from that because I'm from Brooklyn. But the slaves, the first thing they had us doing was picking sugarcane. So the name Sugar Sean goes to that because that's where the power come from within me. So Sugar Sean Riley on Facebook. It's SUGA-SEAN-RILEY on Facebook. And, you know, it's game time. So for me, if I got something to say and I can talk about something real, that's all I'm about. You know, and I applaud Angelo, JT, and what's your name, brother?
David.
And David, you know, David with the wife beater, and my man D.
Kiss my ass.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna kiss your ass because I see your hair. Yeah, I ain't gonna kiss that. Yeah, I know that shit great like a motherfucker. Man. But yo, at the end of the day,
you kiss my ass.
I ain't fucking with you. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems.
That comedian.
I'm going to my trunk right now.
No,
Fuck
don't
that.
go to your trunk because we gotta stay together. Like we can't fight each other. And
good shit.
That's where you find me. Go to www.sugarsean.com. But again, you know, let's stop fighting each other. Let's stop competing with the young people. Let's work with the young people. Because just because somebody younger than you don't mean they don't know nothing. And that's the problem with us older brothers is that we still running with the same nonsense like, oh, that's a young dude, he don't know nothing. Nah, let's evolve. All right? I mean, we got to evolve because they know something. Because this whole movement and everything going on is because of them.
All right,
That's
Sugar
all
Sean, you about to go another 5-minute rant. Go ahead, Dave. What you got?
I'm out. Sorry, Lo, but you know.
He's about to get started again.
I
thought doing another set.
Yo, about to make me light up another cigar. Well, yeah.
I had to light me another one.
What you got, brother?
We still got work to do after this because, you know, my boy JT, Atlanta's hottest motherfucking model. That boy bad. He get on the stage and
that way
rip his t-shirt off. And it's
Pretty Ricky, what they call it.
Round that motherfucker. They don't know what to do with it. We're like, oh my God, was that JT? that brother growled at me. I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm going to say this online because I love me some Kyle. She chastised me. David, get off your damn phone.
Oh, she sent your IM?
Yeah. She chastised me. I'm like, babe, I'm doing research, Kyle. I'm trying to help out the show.
Yeah, she in the background as one of our directors. And yeah.
We love you, girl.
Yeah.
Adrian's in the background watching. She was like, hey, y'all. That's my wife, Adrian. I love me some Adrian. Don't get it twisted.
What's your closing remarks, brother?
I'm about to get it. Hey, you let Sugar Sean run a goddamn minute. You gonna let me get a minute in there. But yeah, hey, my name's David Price. I am a photographer here in Atlanta. Not only am I a photographer here in Atlanta, I am Atlanta's hottest reigning photographer.
That's what's up.
I do some shit. You bring me your vision, I'll make that shit a reality. Sugar.
I'm with you, bro.
I think we need to go and do some things personally.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hey, this is just because David being David. Me need to hook up and do some things, get you some things.
Let's rock, brother, man.
Let's ride.
Yeah. Just wear a shirt next time.
Not a green shirt. Because hey, when I walked in with the green shirt, I'm a photographer, so I walked in with that green shirt, I'm like, God damn, these mugs got a green screen up here. Lord Jesus, I got on a green shirt. That was my first thought when I walked to the door. When I play with you not. I walked in the door, I'm like, sugar honey iced tea. I got a green shirt on. But anyway, hey, guess what? That's what a wife beater for. Hey, young folks, put you a tank top underneath, a V-neck, something.
Your closing
just
remarks,
in case.
Sir.
I think that was his closing remark, Lo.
Closing remarks. Hey,
Lo, that was his closing remark, Lo.
Hey, my closing remarks is this: Georgia, don't sleep. We got work to do. Just because we got Joseph or Biden and Kamala Harris, our VP sexy. I don't know. I put that on my Facebook and Instagram. Our VP fine. Remember how they did Barack? All our wives like, look at Barack. I'm like, are you serious? Really? You gonna get?
So we got
But now that Kamala in the house, I don't want to hear no shit. I don't want to hear not a damn word. I'll just give her applause.
That's progress in
hey,
itself.
I love y'all, and I appreciate the opportunity to step out here with you guys. And it's a pleasure to be with men that are, one, knowledgeable, two, do they research. Don't just go by what everybody else is saying. Oh my God, Joseph R. Biden did the crime bill. Federal law ain't got shit to do with state. States did what they wanted to do because they said, oh shit, federal law? Fuck it, let's go ahead and fuck everybody else up. Help me out and believe on that, please, bro. So, research. Gentlemen, Google is a powerful tool. She's, 17 years old now? Google? I said it's a she because she changed her mind every now and then, don't want to do what you want her to do. That sounds like a woman to me. But do your research on anything and everything. I've enjoyed this. I love the brotherhood. Y'all fellas keep rocking. I'm going to promote this show every chance I get.
Appreciate you, bro.
I got 5,000 plus followers because my Facebook... No, you can only do 5,000 on Facebook. I'm at 499 because I think I done pissed somebody off today. Fuck you, whoever you are. Don't give a shit. But then I got another 1,000 on my business page. I'm a professional, but I'm still gonna be David, and I'm still gonna tell you, fuck you when you're wrong. I'm gonna tell you, okay, you're right. I'm that guy. All right, y'all turn. Love y'all. Those are my closing remarks. Thank you. Good night.
Hey, listen, the vote's back on. We got to get back out here and vote. January 5th, we're going to push this week after week after week. We're going to make sure we post all the different deadlines so that everybody's aware of it. He just posted it was 300,000 unregistered voters in Georgia. Inexcusable, folks. But we need to get out the vote. Yeah, 300,000 unregistered voters in Georgia. That's a sad number.
Unregistered.
Right. Sad number. Yeah, I mean, but we got to get out here and vote. We got to push the narrative, guys. Wow. The Senate election is going to be huge. We got 2 of them in Georgia. How many in Carolina? 1 or 2?
1.
1 in Carolina.
One in, I think, in Arizona.
But these 2 in Georgia for the Georgia people. We have to get back out here and vote. We cannot sleep on this. All right. Got to push it, man. We got some good stuff coming up. One of our topics coming soon. I don't know when we're doing it. Miseducation of Black America. Talking about the educational system.
Oh,
I want to get some educational people.
Please
here.
have me on that show.
No, can I
The
come?
narrative of our
I'm sitting in
education
the
system is
background.
horrible. So, too many lies being told. But anyway, vote. Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, this on my closing remarks. I'm gonna start off with Happy Veterans Day. Even for the veterans that did not go to war, let me tell y'all something, people. Being in the military is not an easy life.
At all.
Even if you don't go to war, it is still not an easy life. I salute the veterans. I salute the wives of the veterans. There's a lot that they have to go through also. So again,
Very important.
Salute to all of you out there. Get your free meals. Anything else they're going to give you for free, go get it. You deserve it 120%.
You've earned it.
Next thing, like Sugar Sean said about the young ones, I salute the movement by the younger, because right now they're on the front lines. When the riots was happening, they were out there. You ain't see too many out there 40 and up. Real talk. If we was out there before the cameras came, because usually we got out there during the little time that they said it was going to be, we're going to march or whatever, and we was out there from 7 to 9, 7 to 10, then we went in. But them young cats, they held it down. Real talk. I am proud to ride in the back seat. I'm telling you right now, I'm not getting in the front seat. I ain't got it in my knees. I ain't got it in me. But I'm riding with you. I appreciate y'all for doing it. Next thing, as Angelo said, vote. January 5th. Again, I know it is right after New Year's Eve, and all we need is a reason to party. I'm talking about my black people.
Hey.
College football game's gonna be on afterwards. We're gonna get lazy. Do not get lazy on this, man. We need this seat so that we can hold the president-elect and vice president-elect accountable. We need somebody to talk to them. We can't call them. We can't go to their front door and knock on the door. We need somebody else to do that, so make sure that you get out there and do that vote. Got a couple of good shows coming up. We're going to get back on the Christianity thing, but we're going to do that as a series because we can never get it all in one show. It's probably going to be like 3 or 4 straight shows, man, where we're going to just sit down and we just going to chop it up. Getting our guests together for that, so y'all make sure that you tune in for that. Usually after we have a meaningful conversation, we end up seeing something in the news about something that we talked about. So somebody is listening. Somebody is watching Classic Conversations with JT and Low, and we appreciate you. So we'll be back next Tuesday, 8-ish. Ish. 8-ish. We'll be back next Tuesday. All my cigar people out there, I'm working on something. We're going to have an event talking about the lifestyle, because it's not just something that we do. It's a lifestyle that we do it, and the reasons why we do it. So we're going to talk about that. I know y'all looking at us like, why they smoking cigars? They don't catch cancer. Again, the rhetoric that you hear.
The sun will give you cancer.
Yeah, you just that type of stuff. So that's going to do it for Classic Conversations. Next week.
Real quick, just before we close out, Nita, you made some excellent points all night long. Hope everybody was on my live, read her comments. I tried to read out as many as I could, but she was on fire tonight.
Boy.
Orlane, I got yours too, but yeah, y'all was on fire tonight, man. Great job.
Is she smoke cigars? Can we have her?
She don't smoke cigars.
Man, I can't have you in here because I don't want you dealing with.
Stand the smoke.
Yeah, I don't want you dealing with this smokes. But
she'll chime in though.
But for real, we're gonna have to get on video conference, man, because she comes with it.
She come with it.
Man. I promise you. I'm looking at
on fire tonight.
I'm looking at Angelo's live more than I done missed stuff on my live because I'm looking over here looking at Anita's comments, boy. She be coming with it. So we appreciate you, young lady, for real, for real. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You dig?
Yeah.
Your blood niggas ain't talking about Pyro. Better get a clue. Better get a clue. Wake up, my people. This shit can happen to you. Treating us like fools. Keep killing our youth. Spreading lies in our schools. They ain't telling the truth. Fuck all of they rules. Fuck all of they rules. Signing off as new nigga with a hat or two. Now, this shit that we on. 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 This shit that we on. We on. We on. We on. We on. We on. Look, this shit that we on. 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 Look, this shit that we on. We on. We on. We on. We on. We on. This shit that we ain't trying to just sit around and get about everything we going through. Ain't trying to live life and thank God like who the fuck is you? Ain't trying to feel years on earth. I done shed blood, shed tears on dirt. Fighting these fools trying to smear my worth. On a set trip trying to clear my turf.